Hey, you guys. Hey, everyone. Let me tell my mods that I'm live. Live. I can help on my besties. My best friends. Yo, this is so weird. Earlier, I got a message. I don't know. Like, apparently, I accepted this guy's friend request back in like 2019. And back in the day, I used to accept everybody's friend request just because, like, I just started my channel. So, I actually, for some unknown reason, I was using my personal Facebook. Like, why does my eye look? Well, I've been at the football field, so yeah. But I shared the link to my personal Facebook page for a while. Silly, I know, but then like I started getting like these terrible messages from like certain followers. So then I had to change that. But anyways, I used to like accept everybody, and I used to try to respond to everybody, which I still do, and it gets to be like overwhelming at times. But anyways, apparently I accepted this guy's friend request like way back July 2019, and he just sent me a message saying he wanted to take me out on a date because he is single too. And I'm like, I just told you about this.
Who?
We were in the bathroom. I'm not going to call the guy out by name.
I'm just kidding.
But it's really funny because I'm like, what makes the guy think I'm single? My Facebook page literally has me married and my husband. Yeah. And I literally just had like our whole family as my.
Better. You only changed it for one,
Yeah. I'll tell them
just
about
like
that.
2 days ago.
Yeah. So, anyways. So, yeah, I literally just changed my Facebook to a picture of me like 2 days ago. But before that, since Easter, it was our Easter like family pictures. So it's really crazy. Anyways, I got my Red Bull.
Can we scoot that back some a little bit? Or, I'm like half cut off.
Got my daily dose of Red Bull.
You know what's funny is I got this toy for Kennedy. And it was like a chocolate egg, and she got this out.
They can't see your hands.
Well, look, scoot over some. Let's scoot this back a little bit.
Yeah, I always scoot it back, but I forgot to this time. Hold on.
Let me do it. Okay. Well, that'll work. It's still low. I might cut off.
That's a little bit better.
Let me slide on in
Show
there.
him your fingernails.
So, hold on. Where's it at? That's confusing. Kenny painted my fingernail. See?
Kennedy painted his fingernail. So.
Yeah. It matches my eyes and my shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I only let her paint one though. Because I bought her this nail polish thing. It was pretty cool.
I thought you had dip on your lip. Don't be doing that. No dip on the lip.
But anyways.
Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah, thank you. So I bought this little chocolate egg, and this thing came in it, and she's like, "Look, it's a little Red Bull, right?" And then we went to the store to go get Caden some pizza, our son, because he had football practice.
He had a game.
Yeah, our football game, and he didn't eat lunch, so I was like running to pick him up some pizza real quick before he had his football game, and she saw one of those big Red Bulls that have in a gas station, the really big Red Bull cooler deal that holds ice and Red Bulls, and she's like, "Hey, look, it's a big Red Bull." So in a matter of like 2 days, we had this little tiny Red Bull, and she was like, "Hey, it's a little," I think she said tiny Red Bull. It's my tiny Red Bull, I think is what she said. And then at the gas station, she was like, "Look, it's a big Red Bull. It's a big Red Bull." So it was just funny. And
then this morning, me and her were actually playing, and we both drank our Red Bull. We shared it. She was like, and I was like, Sean did finish school. What? Yeah. Hallelujah. Praise God.
I scored 84 on the last test, man, which is, I really thought I did better than that, man, which is crazy because I normally
She did paint his fingernail.
think I did worse than I did.
He was like, "I did good." He was like, "I did really good."
And I got an 84.
That's fine. I mean, I'm just so happy that it's over with. I'm just like, yes. Now he's a computer genius. I can say that.
wouldn't say all that. But.
It's still a process. There's so much to learn with that. Like when he's like building like on my site and he's like trying to show me stuff, I'm like,
so they call it.
I don't know.
They call them all languages, and there's a bunch of different
languages,
ones, and it's exactly like learning a whole other language. And there's all kind of different ones. So it's not like.
Let me see if I can name some of them.
Well, I mean, the main
Python
is one, and then
Monty.
No, Monty Python. No, there's Python and then JavaScript.
JavaScript.
So, you always people interact with JavaScript. You'll go to a browser and it'll say like you don't have the correct form of JavaScript or whatever. So a lot of people interact with that. HTML. Thank y'all. I literally was so happy that I got it done because I was so tired of.
He had to do it in the middle of the night.
Waking up in the middle of the night and staying up most of the night.
So he did his school in the middle of the night, but he did his test in the middle of the night too because
it was time.
It was time, and they watch you and we have 2 monitors here. You have to undo one of the monitors. That way you can't have like your other monitor up, like doing anything. And aren't they like linked into your system so they can see whatever you're doing?
Yeah, they're linked in to your computer where they can monitor everything you do and like they record you. C++ has another one. They record you and they verify your identity and everything. So when I say school, it wasn't a school, and I got college credits for it, but it was a coding boot camp. So it's like development. So my major, I guess, even though I don't have like a degree, I have college credits, but you get a certificate and you go through this boot camp where they teach you languages, and it helps you get a job in development, computer development or website development, app development.
Yeah, they recorded his face the whole time he was doing his test. Like that way they can make sure he didn't cheat.
Yeah.
So, they was in the system so they could watch what he was doing. It was timed. He had to unhook one of the monitors and they watched him. That way. And he did so he did his school in the middle of the night because he can't focus when the kids are like home from school or even when it's just Kennedy, because Kennedy's very much like daddy this, daddy that, daddy this. Like if she wants something to eat 9 times out of 10, she goes to daddy. She's a daddy's girl, and I'm okay with that because I had 5 other kids that were mama girls.
You keep saying
mama's
that.
Other kids.
What? You told the women at the ballpark, but Eli was not.
Eli was a mama's baby too.
No, he was not.
He was yours as well, but he was a mama's baby as well. Like he was not as much about you, I feel like, as Kennedy is.
When I got my own place, that one time when we separated, he always wanted to stay with me.
You want to know why he wanted to stay with you? Why did he want to stay with you?
Because we play video games.
Because they play video games all night. Hey, Renell.
I didn't make him go to school.
And oh my gosh, that was the worst. When me and Sean was separated for a while, it was literally Eli's first year of school. Sean lived like 35 minutes away from the school. I lived closer to the school, so he was enrolled in the school closer to my house. And during the time that Sean would have Eli, he would drive all the way to the school. And Eli would cry, but Eli didn't like cry and freak out. He just did very sad, like he would get real quiet and he would just there and he would be so sad and he would cry. And so Sean would literally walk him up to the door and Eli would be like crying and looking. He'd be like, okay, never mind, let's go home.
I don't know how many
I almost had to go to truancy over it.
I don't know how many mornings. Yeah, she got in trouble.
Like I didn't get in trouble. I got sent a letter and I had to go talk to like the school and like tell them what was going on. I was like, it ain't me, it's the hubby. Like it's the dad.
Like they didn't come from me.
Like
let her catch.
He did the same thing with me. Like he was sad, but so yeah, Sean let him stay at his house and they would play video games, and then Sean didn't make him go to school.
No, man, it wasn't because of there was an effort. Like we would get up in the morning and I would be like, Eli, you're going to school today. I don't care. Don't cry. I don't care if you cry. You're going to school today. And I would drive. I would get him ready. and we would drive like 35 minutes, and I would get there. And there was times that literally the teacher was at the door trying to get me to hand Eli to her, and I would turn around and leave because he was holding on to my neck and crying so bad. And she would be like, just give him to me. He'll be all right. And he's like crying and holding on to my neck. And he's like, don't make me go, or whatever he would say at the time. And I would be like, you're not going. And we would go back and play video games.
Yeah, Daddy is a softie for Eli and for Kennedy. But no, like, Eli was a daddy's boy, but he still was about Mama as well. So Kennedy is like,
but there was issues.
Daddy's girl. Like,
there was issues with Eli too. Like Eli did not speak.
Right, he didn't speak.
Eli had like his own little language, which was probably my fault, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it was probably both of our faults because
he didn't say words right, and then because he didn't say words right, and he heard himself mess up. Eli's a lot like me. Like when he messes something up, he really struggles with it and is really hard on himself, and it makes him
even
mad
to
at
this
himself.
day. Like if he plays football, and if you don't catch the football every time, he gets frustrated.
Yeah.
If he shoots the basket like over and over and he don't make it, he gets frustrated.
Which is exactly how I was as a kid. Like, but Gabrielle, you're the bomb. I like your videos. But anyways.
Yeah, Sean be like telling me if you're live because he like keeps up with everything. He'd be like, Renell's live.
But anyway, so like Eli had his own little language or whatever. And so it was like, and he did not talk to the teachers the entire school year. He did not say one word to them. And
so
like
right at the end.
Yeah, right at the end, it was like the last day of school or like the last week of school. Mm-hmm. And he finally said something to one of the teachers. And that teacher thought that he hated her because every morning she would be like, hey, good morning, Eli. And he would not say nothing, right?
Even on the playground, he would not play.
He wouldn't play with none of the kids or nothing.
So when Eli first started, go ahead, sorry.
It was just tough to send him to school because he made up his own words that only me and Net knew.
His siblings knew him.
Like and his siblings, like he like toy guns and horses and cowboys and stuff like that. So a horse was a hoo-hoo, a little toy gun was a din-din, and we played these games together. So he had his own little language.
Chocolate milk was hot milk.
Yeah, hot milk.
One time my sister kept him, and when I was in the hospital having Coco, she kept him, and he asked for hot milk. So she like made his chocolate milk and put it in the microwave and like warmed it up and like gave it to him. And he was like, no, hot milk. And she's like, it is hot. So he's like, no, hot milk. So she like put it in the microwave, like heated it up a little bit more. And look, Eli's in the chat. Eli, get out of the chat, boy.
Go to bed, son. So, you're supposed to be in bed.
So she's like heating his milk up. She's like, oh, I think it's too hot. And she's like, what is he saying? I'm giving him hot milk. I think it's too hot. And Kaden was there and was like, no, he's just saying chocolate milk.
It was just so hard to send him to school. I mean, It was. And he was like my little partner. I have so many pictures on my phone of him like riding with me, and like, he had his little gun and his cowboy boots on, and like, just he went everywhere with me at the time. So it was just, man, that was the hardest thing I ever done was make him go to school. There was mornings that I drove away like and crying, because I made him go to school that day. So
whenever he started school, so I say it was both of our faults because we could understand him for the most part. And I didn't understand like how different his language was until we went to register him for pre-K. And they took him into another room, which is literally the first time he was probably with anybody outside of like me, Sean, or like my family. My Bass kids were never away from us.
No, because I'm fun. Like I don't like my kids to go anywhere.
Like we're both very funny. Shine's probably more than me now. But yeah, back in the day I was like super like funny. But so they took him off and they like tested him and they like showed him a picture of a chicken and they was like, what's that? And he called it a nickin. He was like, a nickin? And they was like, what is it? And he knew he like said it wrong, and so he shut down.
He never talked.
He just like looked. He like looked down, and they was like, "What is it?" And he was like,
I mean, he never.
He would not speak to them for the rest of the thing.
Nothing.
So when school started, his sister's friend Anna kept seeing him like during playtime. Kept seeing him standing beside the teachers during the playtime. Like rather than playing, he was standing. So she was like, I think Eli's getting in trouble at school because he's not playing on the playground. So I finally asked Eli about it one day. I was like, Eli, are you getting in trouble or what? And he said, no. And I said, well, why are you standing by your teachers? And he just said he didn't want to play. So then I talked to his teachers and they was like, he will not play.
He stayed by one teacher though. And he did not like the other teacher. You know, he really liked the one teacher, but he never talked to her.
Right. He liked the teacher that we, go to church with. So she thought he hated her. But like during playtime, like when they would be out on the playground, he was standing right beside the teacher, Sheena. And one day she actually Eli's like, I remember that. One day she forced him to go on the slide. She's like, go on the slide. Come on the slide. So he went, and she said when he come down the slide, he was crying because he did not want to do it. So after that, she was like, never mind. Don't play if you don't want to.
Yeah.
So he was very just quiet. But it was hard to send him to school.
It was little things like that that really kind of kept us together. And even though you would get mad at me, I remember I would leave and the only person I could call or wanted to call because I was so tore up from making him go to school that day was you, right? So I had to call you and be like, I'm pulling Eli out of school, or something. I can't take this, So there's little things like that that actually kept us together, even though I had my own place and stuff. Mm-hmm. And she was probably mad at me every time.
I got a letter for truancy court because in pre-K it don't really matter. They can miss as much as they want. Wait until they leave for college. That was I'm not even
I'm ready. I'm ready for them.
Sean's ready, but no, I'm not.
They get old and they lose that little.
But pre-K doesn't matter, but they still send you the letters for truancy. You still have to go to court if they keep missing school or whatever. So he wouldn't have failed or anything, but he missed. Sean just would never send him. So I was like, oh my God, we're going to go to jail. I'm going to have to go spend time in jail over my son not going to school because thank you. You like my necklace, Cece?
My necklace.
My necklace. Oh, okay. So yeah. But Kennedy is a mama's girl sometimes, and I know she loves me. I know she loves me, so I don't let it bother me that she's all about her daddy because Sean has always worked off the entire time we've been together. Even when he worked an hour away, he would stay there he would stay there a lot. So I did it all myself. I miss 2 kids, 3 kids, 4 kids, getting up multiple times in the middle and going to bed late because, once I got the kids to bed, I had to clean the house and then I had to take my bath and then I had to, make sure the school closed. So getting to bed at midnight. And the second I get into the bed, one of the kids would be baby still. They wake up for a bottle and I have to get up and then another kid wake up and want to get in the bed with me. So I have to put them in the bed with me till they fall asleep and then move on because I'm uncomfortable. So I spent so many years dealing with that, which that's fine. That's a part of it's it was so tough, but it was also that was my life. And you know what I'm saying? It's my kids. So now Sean deals with that with Kennedy. I sleep like a rock when he's home. So when Kennedy wakes up in the middle of the night, it don't wake me up. If he's here, it does not wake me up most of the time.
No sleep, no consecutive sleep. No, never.
But he used to, on the rig when he worked offshore. When he got when he clocked off, he went Nate and he was out. I remember I used to kind of I'm not gonna lie, I would be jealous of it. He would call home and he worked offshore for 21 days at a time. And he would literally talk about how he got the best sleep offshore because he got off work and he would eat and then he would go to sleep and he had 12 hours.
You're on a rig. So there's this hum of the motors constantly running. And it just hums. It's
nothing woke him up.
And then the rig rocks, right? So it's rocking you to sleep. Man.
You're 5 in pre-K, 4 and 5.
Well,
we have a pre-K 3 here. Sorry, babe. Go ahead.
I was just talking about asleep on the rig.
Yeah.
Offshore.
I used
Not
to
on
be very
land.
jealous
On
of
land.
him getting, like, he would call home and I would be pregnant, supposed to be on bed rest, with like 3 kids, you know, and like Paris was a bad kid when she was little, like really bad.
Not bad.
Bad. So she gave me heck. So I had her. Caden, thank God, was just the most laid back kid, never gave me problems.
Wow.
And his grandma always wanted him, like always. She would like try to come take him and stuff, you know. So I would be like pregnant on bed rest with like my 4th or my 5th, and Sean would be getting off the rig and only talk to me for like 10 minutes. He'd be like, I'm tired, I'm gonna go to bed. And I'd be like, I'm in a body.
A married,
I
single,
hate you. You know,
busy, stay-at-home mom with a non-stop job. That's the way I explain my job to people. Yeah, man, it's crazy. You know,
we have.
you know, I feel like society like totally like kind of goes like looks down on stay-at-home mothers. But dude, I've always had a lot of respect for a stay-at-home mother. Like my mom was a stay-at-home mom, and you know, she was a mother. She was busy all the time. She was a good mom. You know, she was like extremely strict, but she was a good mom. You know, she was strict because she cared about us. You know, she didn't want us being little
Turds.
Hey, like you need to go to bed for real, dude.
We love you.
It's
Like
9:30. Yeah, you gotta go to sleep. You got school tomorrow.
Me and Eli was just talking about the dangers of offshore. So this past Friday, Caden had a game like an hour away, and I worked that day, and then the kids got home. And then me and Eli went to the game because Eli really likes football too. So we had a whole hour on the way there, just like chit-chatting and talking. And we were talking about oil field. He was asking me about like how many people gets hurt offshore, like, and I'm like, a lot. It's very dangerous.
I've seen a lot of people get hurt.
You almost got killed a couple times.
Yeah, I almost got crushed one time, and it messed my arm up so bad I couldn't use my arm. But they needed me at work, so I stayed at work for 2 weeks with my arm swollen up and like gimped up like that. I couldn't do nothing with it. But I had like thousands of pounds fall on top of me and pin me down. But it just so happened the way it landed that it pinned me down and it laid on top of something else, and it just had me pinned down. But it like hit me so hard when it hit me that it like knocked me stupid for a minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like pinned down on top of this manifold.
You never came out of that.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
But it pinned me down on top of this manifold. And like my blood was just like, I remember like coming to, and I'm hearing everybody talk, like people are yelling like different things, you know, and I'm hearing all this come to. And my blood is like pulling up on the deck. I'm sitting there watching my blood like just like puddle get bigger and bigger. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm about to die. I done made it to Iraq and Afghanistan. I've been working out here 10 years. And now that I'm a supervisor, I'm going to get killed on the rig, you know. But then I was like, well, maybe I remember this thought process going through my head. I'm like, maybe I'm not dead. Maybe I'm just paralyzed because I can't move, right?
You couldn't feel anything?
I couldn't feel nothing because I just been hit. I got hit so hard, and like I guess my adrenaline, and I was hurt. And you know, like when you get hurt really bad, you can't feel it, but it hurts at the same time. It's like your body goes into this numb mode to where you know you're in serious pain and it really hurts, but you can't feel it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like regaining my consciousness, I guess, and I'm like, well, maybe I'm not dead. Maybe I'm not going to die, but I'm paralyzed because I can't move. But I didn't know I couldn't move because I had all this stuff like had me pinned down. So then I'm like, man, I'm paralyzed. Nanette's gonna have to wipe my butt. That like I remember thinking, like,
I would do it.
no, like Nanette's gonna have to wipe my butt. I'd rather die, you know. But then
I would wipe your butt all day. I wipe all these kids' butts. You think I'm gonna care about wiping your butt?
Yeah, no, it just would be so embarrassing, right? What if my son?
You've had to do. I mean, you ain't never had to wipe my butt with poop, but you've had to wipe me before, yeah.
And it wasn't bad when I had to take care of him. It was never like nasty or nothing.
Yeah, I'm not nasty.
No.
So.
But anyways, you know, they picked the weight up off of me. I regained my consciousness, and I got up, and I was just like really sore, and my arm was probably fractured, but I didn't come into the doctor. I just stayed out there because I was a supervisor. All I had to do was like point and tell the people what to do. So I just stayed out there. They needed me out there, and
Sean literally never came in, ever.
So, I don't know what happened to my arm. It hurts still sometimes to this day, you know. But
didn't you know someone on the Deepwater Horizon? I know Donnie did. My brother-in-law knew someone on the Deepwater. One of his old supervisors was on Deepwater Horizon.
So a man that I worked for a long time, he was a tool pusher, rig manager. His brother was a driller. So, his brother was a driller that on tower, on shift. We called it tower on tower. Mm-hmm. When they got killed, his brother lost his life.
Was it the drillers like trying to tell them like the numbers are?
Yeah, yeah. But they used to. I'm not going to get into all
go ahead and talk about it. I want to hear it.
It just used to be common. What they did was kind of common, especially when I first started out there. It was a lot of waivers for equipment that was down that should have been stopped and fixed because, you know, the day rate out there is $400. Our day rate for our rig was around $425,000. You know, that was pretty standard a day. That's what they paid our rig to drill in the Gulf of Mexico. So like a company like Shell or BP or whoever, you know, would rent our rig out and have to pay $425,000 just for the rig, not counting all the other, you know, tools, equipment, helicopter flights, everything. So you're talking about a lot of money. So the government used to grant a lot of waivers and people would skip a lot of things that they were supposed to do. And what went on the horizon was, you know, there were a lot of red flags that were thrown beforehand, but the company man who represents the company, BP, right? Mm-hmm. That's who the company man.
They were out there.
Represents. Yeah, they always, whenever a company like BP or Shell rent your rig, they'll generally rent it for like 4 years or so, and they'll have like work planned out for 4 years. So you just go from well to well to well to well mm-hmm. until you're done with that contract. But they'll put a company men on that rig that stay on the rig with you to supervise, you know, the rig personnel. But then you have a rig manager, which is your boss. You know, the mm-hmm. company man represents the company that owns the oil.
Yeah.
Your rig manager.
Your company man. There's your company man for your company.
He's called the offshore. The OIM, the offshore installation manager.
Terry Causey was the OIM for y'all.
Yeah, and so he is the boss of the personnel and the rig, and you know, the OIMs are really the people that are ultimately in charge, and they can shut stuff down. But nobody liked to do that because then the company men would lose money. You would get behind on contract. You know, you get behind millions of dollars. And then the company man would kind of be like, you know, this OIM's hard to work with. So then they wouldn't want to re-up the contract. So out of like people worrying about having a steady job and not, you know, causing any waves, right? Yeah. They would go along with this stuff. And people got away with it a lot, you know, and then it finally bit them in the butt, you know. It was bad. It was bad.
I remember when it happened.
Man, I flew over it so many times, and you would not believe the amount of manpower and rigs. Like, ultimately, them skipping probably maybe 3-4 days of work and getting behind 3 or 4 days cost them so much money, billions and billions of dollars, cost
And
people's lives. I mean, and then it shut down all the drilling in the Gulf of Mexico for months, for almost a year. Remember, like they shut down all the drilling, and we just had to go sit on bottom and like paint the rig. There was completion work going on, but
yeah, it was wild. It was.
I would
really
go back
crazy.
offshore. I worked on land rigs too.
Though, like,
I worked on land rigs.
Yeah, he would go.
Now,
back.
right now, I'm stay-at-home dad, so she can work.
That's
YouTube,
what I want.
So she can record and everything. So that's what's going on now. And I mean, I chased my dreams, chased my career. It really wasn't my dreams. Did you just smell?
I see if my shoes smelled bad. I just took it off my foot.
It really wasn't my dreams, but it was what supported our family. So I chased my career for 10 years. So now I'm going to try to stay at home and let her chase her career and her dreams, right? Hopefully she don't make it big on YouTube and then divorce me and I have no career.
Not going to happen, Captain.
And I'll be in a bind.
I mean,
then you'll hit me up for child support. I ain't even got no job. Like, man.
I mean,
you're working at Burger King having you have my check.
Not gonna happen. No, if it ever gets to the point to where he has to go back to work, I'm gonna hate that because we're good right now, though. I mean, my channel did really good last month. It's doing well this month. It's not doing as good as it did last month, but it's doing well. So I'm not complaining. I
think if I ever did have to go to work, I could get a job around here making less money and be okay because of her YouTube channel, right? And just be home every night, which would be nice. I've never had a job where I was home every night. You know, I've always had a job where
almost stumped over.
I've always had a job to where I had to leave for extended periods of time.
Yeah. Hey, everybody that's coming in late. You guys.
Her YouTube channel is doing, you know, it's getting there, you know, and plus I get money through the VA, you know, I have disability.
So like someone said something about like, I don't know, remember who it was. It said something a while back, like someone said something about when we like had no income.
Yeah, we've never not had any income.
Not had an income. Like
I get monthly. I get money monthly for the rest of my life, regardless. You know, because of things that I have wrong with me from military service. So,
someone asked, "Are you going to work in the field that you study for? You went to school for?" That's the plan, maybe. But as he wants to, like, not just like. Okay, so his brother just completed the school.
Just got a job, man. It's such an amazing job. That he works from his house.
They bought him a new
They sent him like a $3,000 computer in the mail to work on. I mean, it's just an awesome job. You know, they started him off with great money, and he went through the same school I did. He's the one that talked me through it.
Yeah.
So it's nearly 4 a.m. in England, and I finally called your live.
Please. Yeah, we can talk about that in just a little bit. We'll definitely talk about that. I actually sent myself.
I just don't want to. Yeah, we can talk about some stuff.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
I just don't.
That was wild.
I don't want the whole stream to be about.
Yeah, Sean's like so over Katie.
Freaking over it, man.
Which
I don't want to sit here and listen to it anymore.
No, I get it. But she did say that the cops showed up at her house. But yeah, Sean's brother just got this really good job. Now, the thing is they normally never hire people right out of school. Normally, you had to have, like, how many years experience before they would hire you?
I'm sorry. I wasn't even listening.
Corey's job. Normally, they never hire you right out of school.
Maybe a year or two experience, or a college degree, right? A lot of times they hire people. See, there's different developers. And what's up, Matt? There's different developers.
Will never be... You know who probably never plans to work again.
That's what I was reading when you were talking. But
yeah.
Thank y'all for thank you for your service, Karen. That's crazy. The hubby and I both served in the military.
I couldn't even imagine
25
that.
and 20 years.
I could not even imagine that. Like Sean was, I
don't know how two people in the military do it, like
Mm-hmm.
that are married. It would be tough, man, tough. Especially deploying the way,
right,
like when Iraq and Afghanistan were going on. I mean, I know people that literally deployed like 4 out of 5 years when
it's terrible.
When I got in, like I would talk to like a couple of people I knew from like basic training or something.
Yeah.
And they had deployed like just back to back to back, you know. But yeah, see, I have like some ideas of like how I'm gonna make money. You have developers that like you know, they go to work for a company and then
looking at your gray hair, sorry. It's always distracting. Go ahead.
They go to work for a company and then what are you gonna bite it or what? I mean, you keep leaning into it.
I was gonna kiss you. Thought about biting it.
I forgot what I was saying.
You have developers.
You have developers that they go to work and like they help troubleshoot people's apps and websites, and they build apps and websites or whatever. You know, they write code for different stuff, and they work for a company, and they're like consultants. That's kind of like what my brother's doing, right? But then you have freelance developers that just build websites for people. They're contracted to build websites for people and stuff. So I've really been working on building her a website and getting it like to where I have experience building a website. I know how to do all kind of different stuff.
Say it again.
I know how to do all kind of different. I want to build her a site to where it has like every awesome feature that's out right now on it. And then when I have that, I want to maybe start like use that as an example of a website that I can build for people, you know, and then maybe use that to try to get like some freelance work just on the side. Yeah. Like building websites or apps for people, you know, but I have to keep learning on my own, you know.
Ooh, I would love to hear what a veteran and his wife think about this. We keep politics off this channel.
Yeah.
But Sean has considered actually using the Bash Chat to do like a political channel.
Well, not really I did not want to do a political channel.
I'm lying to you guys. Correct me.
What I wanted to do was I wanted to avoid politics.
Oh, okay.
And try to like, I understand why you think it would be a political thing, but what I wanted to do, because this day and age, there's such a divide in America between Americans. You know, there's a divide between white and black people. You know, white and Hispanic people. And, you know, everybody. There's a division. Instead of like, I feel like when I was growing up, it was everybody kind of looked more at each other like Americans. Like it didn't really matter, you know. And now I feel like it's just getting worse and worse. With Kennedy painted my one finger. So, but anyways, it's just getting worse and worse. So what I wanted to do was just kind of like I wanted to get a channel and focus on like American heroes, patriotic American heroes that performed like some great task in you know facing danger and stuff. And I wanted to focus on like covering all kind of different people, not just like white male heroes, right? I wanted to focus on there being covering little known heroes that like aren't well known and what they did, the story about what they did, like heroes from 9/11 and stuff like that, and make sure that I kind of like encompassed everybody to just try to like bring Americans back together a little bit, you know, instead of just having like the same. That's right. You know, that's what I wanted to do. That was kind of like my dream, but you know, like covering Medal of Honor recipients and then covering
when Kennedy goes to school, like, he can be in here doing that and I'll be in the back doing mine.
Man, I can't remember what this one woman did, but she was like the first African American general in the Air Force, but she did something. I can't remember what it was. I read about it so long ago. But she did a lot of stuff that was just like really cool. And like I consider her like a big American hero and that broke, you know, kind of like broke the norm and probably faced adversity throughout her career and became one of the first black generals in America.
Yeah. I remember you talking
female,
about that.
no, the first African American female generals in the Air Force, which was a big thing for us, you know, to finally have a you know, a female that's African American in the highest, you know, rank in some of the highest ranks in the military. So I wanted to focus on stuff like that. I thought that would be cool because there's so much division in our nation between Republicans and Democrats, and you know, just everybody. You know, everybody's divided right now. So
why do you have to separate heroes like that? We wouldn't be separating them. He would just be talking about them, like highlighting, highlighting.
I'm just talking about combining them.
Yeah, like combining.
Making sure that I covered everybody to kind of show that everybody's an American, no matter what color they are, you know, no matter, that's what the purpose is. It's not to separate anybody, it's to bring people together, right? To show, instead of me just covering the Medal of Honor recipients, which are 99.9% white males, I wanted to go cover.
Really?
I would say, because I mean, there's a lot of black males, but it's a lot of white people that have received, because you know, because of our history in our country.
Oh
right?
Yeah, okay.
You know, there's been a lot of in the past there was a lot of like racial, and there was probably African Americans that fought in wars that didn't receive the Medal of Honor when they should have, right? Yeah. There's probably African, you know, you look back at probably World War I and World War II, you know, there was probably.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was not to divide or even call people out by race, but that was my idea, to make sure that I specifically covered little known heroes in America that have accomplished great things for America, and to make sure that, you know, I focused on everybody and included everybody to kind of send the message that everybody's an American, no matter what. Like, that's the one thing we all have in common, is we're Americans.
Thank you, Daisy.
You know,
right.
And that's the one thing that we can always kind of relate to each other with, is being American. You know, like,
we actually named our son, the one we call Coco, we named him after Dakota Meyer, which he was married to Bristol Palin, but before he married Bristol Palin, what Medal of Honor did he get?
Medal of Honor.
Oh, Medal of Honor. So he basically, his whole platoon, his whole squad was like gunned down, and he was literally I don't know how to talk about this. He was taking fire as he was going to get their bodies and like bringing them back, like, and the whole time just like fighting the enemy as he went and got his, you know, squad.
He just basically kept going into massive amounts of enemy fire, where people were getting killed left and right, to pull out wounded people left and right. I mean, just kept going when nobody else was going. You know, he was the guy that was going at a young age.
He was like 19 or something.
Yeah, I mean, a very young age.
And we saw on the show Teen Mom how it like messed him up, like how he talked about it constantly. You know,
at one time, you know, I read all the Medal of Honor recipients. I read what they all accomplished, you know, like how they got the medal, what they got the medal from. But
yeah, you had a book.
Yeah, I still have it, but
I've actually talked to Dakota Meyer before, like through Messenger or whatever, and he was really nice.
When Coco was born, Dakota. You know, that's when I was reading all that stuff.
Yes.
And I really, before anybody even knew about Dakota Meyer, you know, he was actually getting the Medal of Honor around that time. And I had read about it.
We have 6 kids. And then one that we lost. I never feel good saying 6 kids. Like, I always feel bad because I miscarried. So it always makes me feel bad if I say 6. But then I'm like, if I say 7, I need to explain that, like, you know what I'm saying?
I agree with that. Most people that get medals don't deserve them. I agree with
Yeah.
that. I think the Medal of Honor is a little bit different, but yeah, you're right. I mean, a lot of officers get medals because officers give medals, right? So they look out for other officers. And
What's that thing that, like, the presidents always, like, give people? Like, you go to the White House and they,
it's a
like,
Medal of Honor.
but some of them are not even in military. Like,
I don't remember, but yeah. See, there's a lot of stuff like that. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, just found books about the Code Girls from World War II and can't wait to read them. See, there's a lot of stuff like that. Like that, they made a movie called Wind Talkers a while back, and it was about how there were a lot of native. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was the man. I want to say Apache, but it wasn't Apache Indians. It was Navajo Indians. They used, because the Navajo language is so complex and so hard to crack, they actually used Native Americans in World War II. Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah. And they actually used the Navajo language to transmit sensitive information over the radio, because it's such a difficult and complex language,
right.
that other people, they knew other people would have a hard time to crack it. And
Right.
the only place that it exists is within the Navajo community, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, stuff like that, or like the Code Girls. I'm not sure. I've heard a little bit about it, but I'm not sure what that consists of. But I would like to cover stuff like that. You don't hear about it, You don't get taught that kind of stuff. I think you should, because it really shows that no matter how many things that you can look at to divide our country, divide the people in our country, it really shows that at the end of the day, in the time of need, when our country needs people, people, there's always great Americans, no matter, their background or anything. There's always great Americans that'll stand up and face danger and be brave and and do things that are amazing, that should be commended and talked about, So,
someone asked how we named our kids, so I'll tell you. Paris, I was 17 when I got pregnant with her. Sean was not in the picture yet. I actually had, so before, I think it was like before I got pregnant with Paris, but not very long before I got pregnant with Paris, I actually saw this little girl on the news. Like, something had happened at their school, and she was like, the person like interviewed this little girl, or like asked her a question, and she was on the news, and I remember her name was Paris, and she was such a pretty little girl. At the time, I did not even know who Paris Hilton was, but Paris Hilton came out shortly after that. So I just remember like watching her on the news. She was this beautiful little girl. She had like curly hair, and I remember thinking, oh, she's so pretty, and that's such a pretty name. I've never heard that before. So then when I got pregnant, I was like, okay, I want to name her Paris. Her middle name is Kinley. That name came out of a baby book. I was at my aunt's house one night, and we were trying to find a middle name for her, and we found that in the baby book, and I just thought that's different. I've never heard Kinley. Paris Kinley goes well together. So that's how she got her name. Now my son Caden, he got his name. I came up with that, and I came up with, his name is Caden Adam. Right before I had Caden, someone that I was close with got killed in a car accident, and his name was Adam. So this happened July 22nd, 2007, and I had Caden September 17th. So 2 months later, I had Caden, and I was actually asked to name him Adam by like family members and stuff. So Caden, I came up with Caden, and then family members was like, will you name, I was actually asked to name him first name Adam. And I was like, that's just, I don't want to name him Adam because that's going to be weird to me. You know, like Adam just got killed in a car accident 2 months prior. I remember even on his birthday cake, like they put, not his birthday cake, baby shower, they put like welcome baby Adam or whatever. But I was like, no, we're naming him Caden. Adam can be the middle name, be Caden Adam. Then Eli, do you remember how we came up with Eli?
The Book of Eli.
The Book of Eli.
Which is one of my favorite movies.
Which is one of Sean's
and
favorite
I really
movies.
like the name Eli.
Yeah. So The Book of Eli, we watched that when I was pregnant with him. And we were actually traveling one day, and I was pregnant. And we had the name Eli, but we did not have a middle name. So we were traveling from maybe Georgia or somewhere, and we went through a town called Bronson. I think, yeah. And I was like, Bronson. I was like, Eli Bronson. That's a good name. I like Eli Bronson Bass, right? So that's how we got Eli Bronson. And then with Christian, I don't really remember how we come up with Christian.
I don't either. I think you just came up with it.
I think I just came up with it. And then Levi is his middle name, Christian Levi.
I think Levi was my suggestion.
And then Dakota was from Dakota Meyer. And then
his middle name from my dad.
Yeah, his name is Dakota Roy.
Dakota Roy. Yeah.
His dad's name is Roy. And then the baby that I lost, we named him Timothy Malachi. My dad's name is Timothy, and then Malachi come from the Bible. And then Kennedy, this is going to be so strange, but you know how the Kardashians, they always call Kendall Kenny? I really liked a girl called Kenny. So I come up with the name.
I love
Kennedy.
her name, man. I love her name.
Yeah, and I came up with Kennedy, and I knew automatically that I was going to call her Kenny.
Yeah. I absolutely love her name, and there could not be a better name for her.
She's such a king. Yeah.
She is like, oh my goodness. I couldn't think of any other name.
Rachel.
For her. No.
Not a Rachel. Shelly.
I'll call him Bobby or something. I love the name Christian for a boy. He gets called Christian at school, but
Christian is his school
that was
name.
Actually another word that Eli kind of made up. He couldn't say Christian, and he started calling his little brother because I called Caden.
No, we called Christian Bubby. We called him Bubby.
Okay. All right. Anyways,
you said Caden.
Okay. No, I know I said Caden because I'm going somewhere with it.
Go
I used to call Caden Bubba.
Yes.
I used to call him Bubba all the time when he was little.
True.
So then Eli kind of started. I think Eli is the first one that started calling Christian Bubby. You know?
No, he couldn't say Bubby. I called him Bubby.
Okay.
When we brought Christian home from the hospital, I called him Bubby, but he could not say Bubby. So the way he said Bubby was Bobby. And then he started saying, then he would hear us say Bubby, and he would say, no, it's Bobby. It's Bobby. You don't remember that?
Yeah.
Ask Eli.
Yeah.
Ask Eli. He knows. Eli knows that he's the reason that we call Bobby
that
Bobby.
Actually sounds more like it.
But yeah, we call Caden Bubba. And then I like the name.
Actually,
Ray.
I'm just saying that. I don't remember that.
Really?
I do remember Eli calling him Bobby instead of Bubby. Like,
and he used to
the
get
way
on to us.
I remember it. And I could be wrong, you know. Memory is tricky sometimes. But the way I remember it is I used to call Caden Bubba, and Eli started calling Bobby, but he was saying Bubby, so we started calling him Bubby. And then, so we call him Bubby, Bobby, Bubs. I mean,
not what happened.
Okay, but we still call him.
Okay, yeah.
We still call him Bubby, Bobs, or Bubby, Bobby, Bubs. I mean, he just
big booty Bobby. That's what we call him sometimes.
I don't know why. I guess because Dakota had dark hair, we started calling him Coco. He was like out of our babies, I guess. I don't know. Dakota, Coco, kind of. I don't know where it came from.
Well, I started calling him Coco because Dakota, Coco, comes from Dakota, Coco. I actually called him Coco Pete.
But he's kind of like got more of like a Coke. And I've always kind of like thought about it like, he has like dark hair where our other kids have like.
They have light hair.
Yeah, our other biological kids together.
I call all my kids like weird names for the most part though. Like
Paris is Boo Boo.
We call Paris Boo Boo.
Caden doesn't really have a nickname.
Well, sometimes I call him Bubba. Sometimes I call him Kadaja.
We used to call him Bubba when he was little. I used to call him Bubba all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And
I call him Kadaja.
I never call him Caden. Caden, yeah, you call him Kadaja. But I never used to call him Caden. I used to call him Bubba.
Yeah.
And
Eli, which is so crazy, and Sean used to get mad. But when Eli was born, I used to call him Ellie Mae or Elijah Mae McNeely the third. Flossie even knows, like we would call it. I don't know. I come with these weird names and then just kind of I go with it. But Ellie Mae, Elijah Mae McNeely the third. Flossie even got to where she was calling him like Ellie Mae, Elijah Mae, and Sean would get on to us.
See this?
I can't read it. I need someone for my brother's firm, and my family loves to hire people. Oh yeah,
that would
email
be awesome.
me for sure. Yeah,
I'm gonna try to just do like the freelance work, as long as her YouTube channel. Because if I'm not here, she cannot work on YouTube as much. Ultimately, we would like. I guess I'm gonna be like the stay-at-home
Daddy.
All right, and then she's gonna be the one that's working with the YouTube thing, because honestly, I lost my career of 10 years where I had
plus.
Yeah, where I had I'm just talking about my offshore job, not even counting the land rig stuff.
Oh yeah.
I lost my career, like 401k and all that. We had to take that out when I got laid off, and they shut the oil field down. And I'm just tired of politics affecting my job, every time. And I'm not talking bad about any politics or nothing like that. I mean, obviously I vote a certain way, but we like to avoid politics, but on this channel, because it's not a political channel, and we don't want to isolate anybody, if you by the way you vote or whatever.
Right.
But every time a Democrat would get voted in office, the oil field struggled.
That's
and they
true.
would shut the oil field down.
Unfortunately, that
and people
sucks.
would get laid off. And, so I'm just tired of that. I'm tired of, it affected me. So
yeah, Sean was like, I just want to get out of the.
I'm tired of working for years.
And then it just.
And thinking I'm set and have a career and sacrificing and doing everything. And I'm not the only one. So this isn't a pity party. Right. But I'm just tired of this cycle of working for a company, giving it my all, working my butt off, being there, missing kids' birthdays, missing Christmas, missing my kids grow up, and then they turn around and cut me loose like it's nothing, nothing to them, and I done miss my kids grow up for the last 10 years, right? Mm-hmm. How many Christmases did I miss, How many birthdays did I miss, and I sacrificed it. I was always there when they needed somebody, and
extra work over.
I worked over.
He never came home.
Yeah. I mean, if they needed me, I was there, and I just, I missed a lot of my kids growing up and stuff, and sacrificed a lot. And then the second that they didn't, want to keep me around anymore, because they could have, they cut me loose, along with a lot of other people.
They fired all
they laid off. They laid off all the supervisors and kept a lot of the hands that have just been working for,
because they don't pay them as much.
One of them hadn't been working for 6 months. They sent them as extras to other rigs. So.
Yeah. So, and there was this one man, he was diabetic. His wife was diabetic. He was weeks away from retiring. He had been there. Go ahead, babe. You tell him. No, you know more about it than I do. Go ahead.
This man probably has the record of actually being in the driller position longer than anybody else. This man drilled. He did not want to take a rig manager job because it goes derrick hand. It goes, roustabout, floor hand, derrick hand, assistant driller, and then you go to a tool pusher job, which is like a rig manager, and then you get an OIM job. Well, this man never wanted to move up. He liked drilling. So he drilled for 27 years straight. until they finally made him take a tool pushing job, you know, and he was 2 years away from retiring. He worked for this company like 30 something years. He was a severe diabetic. He made good money, but you know, between him and both him and his wife were diabetics, and between him and his wife, after insurance, and we had good insurance, he was paying like $2,000 a month for his prescription medicine, you know, just for his medicine. But he was 2 years away from drawing Social Security and getting on Medicare,
retiring, Medicaid,
and
Medicare,
retiring. Yeah, and they laid that man off. I watched that man cry. I mean, he worked for that company.
He was literally like, I don't know how I'm
years.
gonna pay for my me and my wife's diabetic stuff. Like,
yeah, I roughnecked for 5 years, and then I worked motors. I worked assistant driller. I was a derrick hand. I was a roustabout. I was assistant. I already said assistant driller.
That's where he was whenever the oil field crashed, and he, you know, got laid off. He was an assistant driller. So yeah.
Well, yeah, I roughnecked for like 5 years straight. Because when I was ready to move up to a derrick hand position, the oil field slowed down, so there was no promotions or nothing. So I ended up getting stuck as a roughneck for like 5 years.
So Sean more than me, but he just because I was like so busy working, but Sean was keeping up with the Gabby case. Petito, not Patino, Gabby Petito, right? Gabby
I've been
Petito.
keeping up with that ever since like.
So when it first, like literally before, like I saw it anywhere, Sean like told me about it. So I started paying attention to it. I like the name Rose. And then obviously yesterday, I think it was yesterday, they found a body. I actually saw the morning that the YouTubers put out their video showing they had spotted the van. I retweeted that. I ran in here and showed Sean. It was so weird. If you watch that video where her van, who was that? Something buffoon, not buffoon, not baboon. Red, white, and what?
I don't know. Red, white, something.
Red, white, and Bethune, maybe?
Balloon.
Not balloon.
Maroon.
Yeah, their video, what's so crazy is we watched it and I was looking at the comments and I noticed that one said, oh my goodness, it looks like there's a person in the field at like such and such time. So I went back and watched and it kind of does. It's really weird. At like 1 minute and like 43 seconds, it looks like there's someone that's like standing up and then they bend over. And then like there's a flip-flop right outside the van.
Behind the van, just a flip-flop on the ground that you can barely see. Like, this is crazy, dude.
It's wild.
Like, to me, this is God.
And you know what else? They had a son that died, and it was their son's birthday that day.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
This is God's way of like bringing Gabby home, right? Because they didn't have any leads. They didn't really know. You know, the dude wasn't saying nothing. But this video, look, can you share that?
They can't see it. Yeah, I'm going to show it. Hold on.
This video of that these YouTubers, like they're just randomly out in the middle of nowhere, driving by, and they happen to be recording, and they capture this van, and they like focus on it kind of because it has a Florida tag.
And they're from Florida as well.
And they're from Florida, so it was weird for them to see a person from Florida all the way across the country. So they kind of focused on it, right? And I'm pretty sure this video, them releasing this video, I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty sure after they put this video up and turned it over to authorities, they ended up finding.
Yeah, they did. It was after they turned the video over to authorities.
Yeah.
A search party went out there and they found it not far from the
You can see. I've heard that too. I haven't seen the
Let's
back door
see that.
closing.
I actually have it playing on like super slow.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I wish it was better quality. Okay. So like they're about to come up on the van, and I want y'all to like focus on the field off to the left.
I'm gonna try to pause it.
There's
like,
something
there's
there.
something moving like out there.
I don't know that it's moving, but there's definitely something there. Did you see the door close at all?
No, I didn't. I'm looking for that figure first.
Okay.
There it is. Hold on, right
Look,
here.
Like what is that?
It's really weird because like, is it just a bush out there or a tree?
Could be
The way
a
I have
bush.
it paused, it looks like it may be just a bush. But right here, I'm gonna scroll it back, but it looks like it moves. It looks like it's like going down to the ground. It's
From
really
what I
weird.
understand, they found her body.
Yeah, they found her body
very close to this location.
They found her body out here. So I'm gonna go back just a couple seconds, so you guys can pay attention to that spot. Is it low quality?
Kick him.
Hold on.
Somebody kicked that person out.
Okay, sorry. So pay attention to that spot in the bushes, like right up here, because it looks like a bush, but it moves. So it's really weird. Or actually, I think it's like right in here. So like, it's like
900 feet from the van. Okay. I'm gonna watch for the door.
yeah. So did we already miss the door moving?
Yeah. I only saw one of her shoes, but if you look really close, I didn't see the door move. I think somebody was out in the field, but right on the ground, dude. I've only seen where somebody zoomed in on it.
So her flip
there
flop,
it is, right
her
there.
flip flop is right here.
Look, is that not crazy? That makes no sense. We missed the door.
Okay, we're gonna go back.
One flip flop, right? Not two. Like she kicked him off. One flip flop, like it fell off or something, right?
All right, we're gonna go. Someone sent me a new. Didn't they put up? Someone just said they put up a video. So let's see. Is it this one?
Cece said the one she sent you was
Okay.
clear. Oh, two flip flops in a book. Okay, maybe I'm missing another one. Okay, all right. Well, I got it wrong then.
You didn't really get it wrong. I mean, there. Where did you send it at, CC?
Either way, man, it's just crazy. You know, obviously there was something going on there. And to me, it's just so wild that right at the same time, you know, when they're looking, there just happens to be this
so even though I've made 2 videos about this already,
couple driving by recording way out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Man. And I just think that, you know, there's a higher power working there. And, you know, maybe I would think that it was a coincidence if I haven't seen stuff like this happen so often, you know, or like stuff happening in our life. But I just, to me, I see where, you know, it seems like there's outside influences, you know, influence in this world trying to help things go a certain way. You know, obviously, you know, obviously there's evil in the world, but, you know.
I'm going to kind of fast forward this because I don't want it to get like a strike or anything. Oh, wow.
What?
Look, the door's like open. It was just open.
Hold on, go back.
Look. Oh my goodness. That's so eerie. That's so scary. Like, what was he doing? Hold on, we're going to go back. All right.
Why would he shut the door like that?
Well, because a vehicle was coming up, so.
Yeah, it's like, you know, typically when you run into somebody out there, you know, like that, you're going to be like, hey, what's up, man? What's going on?
Let me try to get this.
Dude, you can, you're not showing that.
No, not yet. I'm trying to get it like set up to where, hold on.
We're over here like, wow.
I know. Okay, here we go.
man, right now.
I've slowed it down.
Zooming is a little bit
Mute it, so we ain't gonna listen to that.
Okay, well.
Okay.
So the door is clearly open.
Yeah, that door's open, no doubt.
That's spooky. That's so scary. We're gonna speed it up just a little bit.
You know, I'm sorry, man, but dude, even if you aren't getting along with your girlfriend or whatever, like, why are you not gonna answer any questions and go into hiding and stuff? You know, I would be up there like answering every question, like trying to find her myself. You know.
It's really weird to have like this, like there's like something over their camera that keeps like bouncing. But the door obviously shut. Look. Boom, shut.
So I think she was home on the 26th or so, but I don't know. In the open part of that area on the left side, it looked like a man digging with a shovel or something. Yeah, I mean, it could have been, you know, but there's somebody in the van, obviously. So.
And then there's her hat right there.
Yeah.
Then there's a shoe. For sure. Is there two?
What'd you do? Okay.
Hold on. Why was there like a walk? See, like
there's a path going out into the field right there.
The field. Yeah, there's a shoe. There's the book over there.
Where's
Did
the
you
book?
see that? Hold on.
On the ground?
Yeah.
Nobody leaves a book on the ground, you know. So one shoe and a book.
There's the hat.
There's her hat.
The poor girl.
At least
was he in there?
Yeah.
Like, was he in the driver's seat?
I don't see.
I can't tell. It kind of looks like he might have been, like right there. I cannot tell.
Like turned away. He is.
Like,
I see his arm. I see his arm. There is somebody in there.
Don't it look like he's wearing like a light color shirt and he's like kind of turned?
There is, no doubt. Go back. What do they have in the back seat with him?
Dogs.
A sloth?
Look, hold on. We should be able to see right here.
No, look in the back. Yeah. He's slumped down right now. That's a white shirt.
Don't it look? You can see his bald head. It looks like his bald head.
There's no doubt that
it literally looked like he like slumped down when they passed by. Like, look, it looks like his bald head right here.
So he went and shut the door and then come and slumped down in the driver's seat. No. Go back. Go back. I want to go back to where they were passing by, because I know for a fact. Kenny just woke up, but
yeah, here
I know for a fact that is a person. Look, I want to look. His hand's on the steering wheel. Here's his steering wheel. Here's his hand. Here's his arm. Goes up. There's his sleeve. There's his white shirt. Kind of leaned forward. Right?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
That is a person. There's his elbow right there. Right? You got his hands. It goes down. There's his elbow. Goes up into his arm. Shoulder. Back. And then you can't see his head because of the glare.
Oh, it's a Cloud, not Brian. They searched it. Oh, okay. We're going to listen to it because they're telling me to listen to it. They're saying they're like done. Like, it does look like someone's hands on the thing and it's like dipping down, and then a shirt. It does actually look like that. It's kind of weird.
I'm telling you, that's not. Look, there's even something written on his sleeve right there. That right there is the sky. This right here is in the vehicle. There's something on his sleeve right there.
Do you have time to close the door and jump in? Like, why not just hide in the back? That's a good question, yeah.
I don't think, maybe, I don't know. I mean, I see
the picture I say
clear
they saw him.
I see somebody there clear as day. I don't know.
All right, let's listen to what they say.
The footage as good as we can.
It looks like it. I get what you're saying, but apparently it's already been proven that he didn't. And I'm kind of like them. Like, why would he get in the, like, if he heard them coming, so he closed the door, why go get in the driver's seat only to have to, like, duck down as they pass?
I don't know.
Let's listen to what they say.
Do anything, but
it may explain better.
I heard Kenny yelling.
I heard her. Go see what she wants, Daddy. Thank you. It does, Lauren. That's what we're saying.
Right there. So
Now, somebody wanted to know about if there was somebody in the front seat or whatever. I'll show actually 2 different angles on this one. Oh, let me get that back to normal there. So from this angle, you'll see something kind of. It's actually really hard to see. I'll skip just a frame forwards and backwards here. It's way too blurry to tell, but there is something white there, and you could see the bottom of the window. So I didn't think it was somebody hiding on the other side of the van. I actually thought it was a cloud reflection, but actually it turns out, because we have another angle, I'll get to it right here. It's at about 8 minutes in this video. There's a front angle of this. There it is. See, nobody's hiding on the side. Now, let's see what that actually is. All right, it actually looks like a pillow or something.
Yeah, I get that.
So I know nobody's going to like me, but I'm not a really superstitious person. You know, I'm pretty scientifically minded. I live in reality. There's nothing in this video that I want to see, that I'm looking to try to see. I just want the facts, you know. I just kind of want to know what really happened, regardless of my opinion. And it looks like pillows strapped to the seat or something, pretty high up, obviously above the steering wheel. But it doesn't seem to be a person. It doesn't seem to be, but there definitely was a person in the back. I don't know if it's Gabby. I don't know if it's Brian as of this point. Maybe we'll learn in the future. I'm guessing it's Gabby just because of the sandals. I don't think that dude wore those sandals. Somebody did post a picture somewhere online having to do with her sandals and them looking like her sandals. So that could very well been her. Witness accounts sounds like they were still alive, or she was still alive at this point. They may have seen her the day after. I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of basically all I see in this video. I don't see anything else really interesting. One more time on this damn door. I just want people to see it for sure, you know. I don't want there to be any misconceptions here. That definitely is closing, absolutely. Okay, that's it. You can download this video yourself. If you don't know how, get a personal computer. Now, that's the thing I really recommend. Don't be looking at this on a cell phone or a tablet or whatever. You want to be able to do your own kind of analysis and your own zooming in and slow motion and frame by frame and everything. You can do that on a computer. You can't really do that on a cell phone. And that's part of the reason I really don't like cell phones. I'll go frame by frame here one last time. I'm tapping with my keyboard. I'm holding control and I'm hitting right arrow, and that's going frame by frame.
Yeah, it just shot.
So that's definitely, yeah. I mean, it's blurry. Some people thought because it's blurry, the original video doesn't look like this. Well, let's see what it looks like. Yeah, so this is what it normally looks like. And it's really hard to see. You can see it, but it's still really hard to see. In fact, some people thought they actually heard the door close. Let me blast this up really loud and let's hear it. All right, headphone warning. I don't think you can hear it. All right, that's it.
So what do they say?
Yeah, it showed. It looked like there was a pillow actually sitting in the front seat, maybe like a white pillow, kind of down.
Okay.
Yeah, like from the front end, it definitely didn't look like anybody in the front seat, but like a pillow. So I want to say they said identifying marks on the body consistent with Gabby.
Her tattoos. She
Like,
had certain tattoos.
Yeah, she had like a tattoo or whatever. So they did not. They said they could not confirm it, like
They're not going to
DNA, because they, you know, they gotta. That takes a while or whatever.
But they know.
Yeah, but what they said markings
Pretty sure.
persistent with Gabby's.
I'm pretty sure Dad even identified her.
And they even said the family has been notified. Please, like, give them time to mourn. Like, leave them alone. Do not hassle them. That after that, right after like news broke, the dad shared a picture of her like standing in front of this big painting with angel wings, and he said something about you brought a lot of light to the world. So he is the parents have been notified. You know, they cannot 100% confirm because of like DNA. They're waiting for that, but they would not have said all of that if it wasn't her. They wouldn't have said markings consistent with Gabby. They wouldn't have said that her parents have been notified. They wouldn't have said, you know, give them time to mourn and grieve, but leave them alone. And the father wouldn't be posting, you know, rest in peace pictures of her if it wasn't her. So they just have to do it's so sad. It's just literally like, oh.
It's a terrible thing, man. Terrible. You know, not only does his family have to experience it, you know, no telling what she went through. You know, we don't know, but you know, this family's gonna have to sit in court and go through all the details, and it's gonna be probably a year-long process. And then this son of a gun, whoever did it, I'm not gonna say, you know, but you know, we all pretty much have an idea, but you know, I guess there could be some, I don't know. But either way, you know, they're going to have an appeal, and then the family's probably going to have to sit through it again if, you know, there's an appeal.
If he's even found, you know, I feel like.
And then there was a video, and she was like, apparently in this body cam footage, there was a video of her, and they were talking about her hitting him.
Mm.
So, you know, automatically, you know what that dude's, if he did it, what his defense is going to be. So that's going to make it even trickier, you know, and the family's going to have to sit through this, right? And that's just terrible. I cannot not imagine. Like, God help the man that even looks at one of my daughters stupid.
Yeah, Sean, I mean, no offense to Gabby's parents, but Sean was talking about it, and he just said, you know, if my daughter was missing and the last person that saw her, her boyfriend, was sitting over in a house somewhere,
oh, he's coming.
He would get it out. He would get it out. You know, he was
me.
like, I would get it out of him. But I mean, obviously, the best thing to do is to let the police handle it.
I go to prison afterwards. Like, if somebody does anything to my daughter, or somebody knows where my daughter is, like, I'm getting them. Right. And they're coming with me.
Exactly.
And like, I'm about to get every bit of information out of them, you know.
I think what happened too, I think his family planned this. I think they went and took the car to where it was found, or where they, you know, I think they helped him get out of the country. Then they took the car to this place, and they done this whole, he's missing. We haven't seen him since such and such date.
Yeah.
But I think he's out of the country. I really do.
The 911 call was about him slapping her. As a matter of fact, you're right about that. But in the body cam,
she was like, "I hit him."
Yeah, he had red. He was like red, and he had scratch marks all over him. I think he did say that he pushed her.
He was like, I pushed her off."
So she obviously did something. You know, I'm just saying that's going to be.
That would be his defense.
I don't know if he was doing something to her and she did something back, but you know, typically. You know, I'm just saying, you know, this ain't always the case, but typically in an abusive situation, especially where a man, you know, this is not the, you know, of course there's exceptions, but, you know, where a man is like beating on a woman, like she's not really going to fight back because she's going to get beat up, right? You know, and she could have decided to fight back. We don't know, you know, but. Either way, I'm just saying, you know, that he's going to, if it was him, then he's going to use that as a defense. So
the scratches were probably defensive wounds from him choking her.
Yeah.
That could be, because like if you're being choked, what are you going to do? You're going to like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. That's going to be the argument. So it's going to make the trial even worse for the family to sit through.
Well, Lauren, no, there wouldn't be because he wasn't missing yet. So the family did not even contact the police for like a few days after they allegedly had not heard from him. So by the time they contacted the police and said, we haven't heard from him, he had already been gone 2 days, just according to them. So they had probably like got him out of the country like 4 days prior, waited 4 days, and then contacted and said, hey, we haven't seen him in 2 days, just to give him like a jump start to get like somewhere. So yeah, there was no like alerts on him or anything. He was a person of interest, but he was not like the suspect.
I ain't heard about this, so hold on. He was locking her out of her van as she was trying to get her keys back. But okay, I don't know. I think he was abusive based on what the friend said. She had to spend the
night because he was so crazy, angry, and jealous.
Yeah, that's sad, man. That's sad, dude. She was a very beautiful woman, and or girl or whatever, and I just hate to see that, because she was obviously a wreck in that body cam footage. It just sucks that footage is out there, and she admitted to putting her hands on him, because I know if he ever does go to trial,
that's going to be his defense.
That is going to be his defense, right? And that I know that footage is going to be used against her, which sucks. And he probably won't win in the long run, but I'm just saying it's going to make it worse for the family. It's going to make the trial worse.
I've thought about that too, Lauren, like how the officers that handled that situation, how they must feel right now. Like knowing they pulled him over, there was an altercation, and they told them, they separated them for the night, but they could have done something. They could have arrested, like they could have, granted, they probably would have ended up like getting back together, and it might would have happened eventually anyways, but
I don't know. The thing about the officer, though, I'm sure he feels terrible, but at the same time, he was trying to do him a favor. He was trying to be nice and trying to be reasonable. And, it's tough, for that officer, because it's like, if you don't cut people slack and you don't try to be reasonable, well, then you're, you make the police force look bad, and everybody talks bad about cops, and everybody hates the cops, and the cops are the worst thing on earth. But then if you're reasonable, then and you try to like give people chances, well, then situations like this pop up. So I don't know, man. And then from everything that was said, correct me if I'm wrong, the only thing that was admitted was her putting her hands on him, right? So I think the officer just tried to do his best and try to make a good call on it. Now, as far as like him getting out while his house was being watched, I think he was already out before they really started watching the house. Because his parents said, we know where he's at, but they never said that he was inside the house.
Let me look her up. Oh, this can't be hers. Oh, this is a community dedicated to her. I was like, what?
How do you think it got back to Florida? If you don't think he drove it back, then how do you think the van got back?
Maybe the parents? I don't know.
I want to know what she's thinking, because I'm curious about all different opinions.
Yeah.
Maybe she's thought about something that I haven't thought about.
I want to find her actual Instagram and not like yes, I'll follow all of these.
The dad.
His dad?
Yeah.
You hit your elbow?
Yeah.
Which one is her actual? Maybe it's that one. Well, this one's private. No, this was made to pay respect for my sister. So no, that's not it either.
Yeah, I
I'm trying
mean,
to find
Goldie,
Gabby's.
I agree. Worst nightmare going out in the woods with someone you don't trust. Yeah. You know, it was probably, it was probably like a lot of abusive relationships, though. You know, you probably had like your really good times. And then, when things went to hell, they went to hell and it got bad. So, I don't know, man. It's just terrible, dude. Terrible all the way around. Whatever happened was terrible. And it's so weird how everybody in America has been, this kind of stuff goes on all the time, but for some reason, everybody in America is just like captivated by this case, right? It feels like a connection to it. It's like she's like everybody's daughter or everybody's, friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, It's like everybody almost feels connected or whatever. And I wonder why that happens. And I really wonder why that happens with some cases, but it doesn't happen with other cases. Women come up missing and dead every day in America.
Yeah.
And I think it should be this way. To where if somebody's missing, everybody in America should know about it. We should talk about it. People come up missing in America all the time, man. It's crazy. But yeah, I just think that everybody's captivated by this because it's like everybody's sister, everybody's daughter, or it's like everybody just feels this connection because of this girl. They feel connected to her, like they knew her or something. Or everybody just wants to know. Everybody's worried about her, And I just wonder why it happens with some cases, but doesn't happen with others. America's daughter, yeah. She's like your average, like just I don't know. Have you seen the Summer Wells case? All kinds of YouTubers fighting, turning each other into police. No, I haven't seen that. I've been following this other case too, about the Murdocks in South Carolina. It's really crazy. I wanted Nanette to kind of cover it, but she's so busy with all her other stuff, and she doesn't even know about it. I just said something to her about it, but it's pretty crazy. But I'm gonna look into the Summer Wells case. I don't know anything about it.
It says, okay, so this post was made like 3 weeks ago, August 25th. Which it says this post doesn't add up. That we're traveling across the country, visiting state parks, and all of a sudden a post where they're back in civilization with a generic description. This was not posted by Gabby. And someone actually said that he unfollowed her on Instagram. I can't see that whole because it's skipping too fast. Like
the Murdock case.
Babe, how can I get it to just like not scroll down that far?
This button right here should control your scrolling. No, that controls your mouse speed. I don't know. Where do you want to go?
I was reading about.
You just gotta like be real easy.
Okay, you passed it. All right, this one. But I want to read all of it.
I also noticed he doesn't like any of her posts. He unfollowed her.
I can't get it to show the rest of that. It skips too far. Yeah, just post it right here. And I'll just post it. He unfollowed her on Instagram, even though she still follows him. So messed up. Okay. All right.
Okay. The Alex Murdock case is just a crazy, crazy, crazy story, man. So there is this Murdock family that has been like the district attorneys, and they own a law firm that represents like accidental death and dismemberment cases and stuff. They're a very powerful family in South Carolina, and they have been for generations. Very wealthy people. The guy, I can't remember his name. He was the district attorney and owned the law firm, and his dad did, and his grandfather did, all in that town. and they've owned land, and they're just very powerful people. They've put a lot of people in prison. They've helped a lot of people win lawsuits that have got a lot of people money. So there's a lot of people that really like these people. There's a lot of people that really dislike these people. They're very powerful people. So, one of the boys who, was driving a boat, underage drinking. They were all drunk. 5 friends on the boat. He crashed into a bridge going really fast, and one of the girls got ejected from the boat and got killed. And they were looking for the body and everything. They finally found her like a couple days later. They wanted this dude to go to trial. And, he just kept getting out of it. It looked like he wasn't going to really be punished for it. He didn't even spend a night in jail for it. He was underage. He was drunk. He was driving a boat. They were all drunk. The girl got killed. Totally wrecked the boat. Then, so that went on, and like for months, the dude wasn't prosecuted. It took him forever to bring up charges. Well, then that guy and the guy's mother come up dead, killed at the family barn, and the father calls it in. The lawyer, the lawyer, dude, he calls it in. Well, then a little bit after, like a couple weeks after they get killed, the boy that wrecked the boat and the boy's mother, then the lawyer, the father, he gets shot in the head while he's changing a tire. But it's like a superficial wound. But the way it was wrote up, they have a lot of powerful people that kind of cover for them. The way it was wrote up, it was like he got airlifted out, even though they wrote it up as a superficial wound. And then come to find out, he paid somebody to shoot him in the head, but the guy messed the job up and didn't kill him. And this is 2 weeks after his wife and his son were found to be murdered. He wanted some dude to shoot him in the head and kill him, so his other son would get a bunch of insurance money. But then when they started looking into it, his other son, who was away at college and older, there was another murder that came up. There was a boy there was a rumor that the oldest Murdock son was having a relationship with this homosexual boy, and that boy ended up coming up missing, right? I can't see the chat, and that's bothering me.
Oh, sorry.
So that boy come up. Yeah. So, yeah, he was paying somebody to kill him, and the dude didn't do it right. He just shot him in the side of the head. But anyways, so them looking into this case where the guy the boy who crashed the boat and killed the girl was killed, and his mother was killed, and then the father is shot in the head. It made them open up another case to where this young homosexual kid was found in the middle of the road dead, and they there's a lot of suspicion that the oldest son had something to do with that other boy come up missing. And there's just all kind of twists and turns in this, like a daggum Lifetime movie. It is crazy. Buster. This is just the craziest story you have ever heard in your life. And, everybody talked really good about the mother, the lawyer's wife. And, they said that she was just the kindest woman in the world. And she just cared about people and did all kind of charity work and stuff for people. And, they had money, and she helped out people all the time. So she didn't have any, the housekeeper turned up dead, but, from a fall. But the thing about the housekeeper was nobody really thinks that they had anything to do with it, because the housekeeper was the housekeeper loved the family, and the family really liked the housekeeper. But what was weird about the housekeeper coming up dad was they sue people for accidental death and stuff.
Mhm.
Well, they were sued by the housekeeper's family, but the lawyer that sued them was one of he was the other lawyer, the main lawyer, the father. It's just kind of confusing
I
because I
gotta go
can't
do
remember
something
their
to eat. I'm
names.
kind of hungry. I'll be right back.
But anyways,
Can you hold it down
they
for a
were
second?
friends. Those two lawyers were friends. So there's a lot of
Sorry, guys.
suspicion that these lawyers come up with this plan to basically make money off of this. So he basically made money off of the housekeeper's death because he was sued and he lost the case, but he was sued by his friend lawyer, right? It's just the craziest stuff you ever heard in your life, man. It blows my mind. The dude that crashed the boat, a lot of people are really mad about it in the town because they didn't bring up charges. He didn't spend a night in jail. Of course he got bail. The judge was already acting like he was gonna be on the kid's side and stuff because these people are so powerful, and they've, but y'all should check it out. It's the Murdock case, and it's ongoing right now. They're investigating it right now. So, yeah, I mean, this is just, yeah, it's crazy, man. We live in a crazy world. I just don't understand it. I don't understand how people can do other people this way. Yeah. Apparently he got kicked out from his own law firm, had a drug addiction, or was addicted to painkillers or something like that. I mean, there's just so much stuff going on in that case. It's just insane. I don't think he never went to trial for the boat crash, Daisy. He never went to trial. He was murdered before that. I don't know when I'm gonna make a YouTube channel. I don't know. I gotta knuckle down and just kind of take care of the kids and stuff right now. I'll help her out. Let her take care of her channel and everything and focus on that. And then maybe once she gets to a stable spot, and she's stable and her channel's stable, then maybe I'll see about making a YouTube channel. Okay, well, how we met is about to do a mukbang.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I'm gonna be smacking.
I'm not gonna smack.
I'll be smacking. But
I'm
anyway,
gonna smack that. Just kidding.
How we met was so my cousin, who I was always pretty close with, is a female. She had kind of a hard life and everything, and I always felt bad for her. And I was born out here in Louisiana, but I grew up in Georgia. So every time we visited, this cousin was my age, and we were just always close, her and Leslie were friends. Well, I was dating.
Best friends.
Yeah, I was dating this girl in Georgia.
Tracy.
I was still living in Georgia, coming to Louisiana all the time, going to Texas all the time, drinking all the time. Just got out of the military, working offshore, making decent money. But just drinking and just leaving Georgia and going to Louisiana and Texas. And me and that girl were so off and on, and
because you're really in the camera.
And we would break up, and I would come out and we'd be broke up for a couple of weeks or whatever. And we're just so off and on. I'd come out and I'd be like, my cousin's name's Brooke. I'd be like, hey, Brooke, you ought to hook me up with one of your friends or whatever. So, and she would always be like, man, they're all taken. They all got boyfriends, And I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't care. But anyways,
you don't care.
But anyways, I ended up seeing her, and I thought she was really pretty. So one time I found out that her and her boyfriend had broke up, the dude that she had been dating. So I'm like, all right, I got this. You know, and I told, the roughneck life. That's right. That's what it was. But I told Brooke, I'm like, man, I might ask Nene out on a date. And that's how we met. I mean,
Yeah, I
in.
knew of him for a long time because he would go visit his grandma, and my best friend lived with his grandma. Brooke lived with her grandma.
She wanted me.
She had a hard life. Flossie wanted you, so she's gonna be mad at me for putting that out there, but Flossie like had a crush on Sean when she was a kid. When they were kids, she saw, because Flossie was like, me and Flossie were really good friends with Brooke. Brooke lived right down the road from us. So Sean would come. It just so happened like multiple times when Sean came to visit his grandparents, Flossie was there. So then she was like, oh, he's so cute. And I remember Brooke gave Flossie his soccer picture, and it was like up on our dresser for a while. I did not see him until I was like a lot older.
Yeah. I saw her one night. I don't even know what. I think she had just gotten off work, and I was riding with Brooke, and I think we were going to the bar or something.
And I was babysitting.
Yeah, she was babysitting, and Brooke was dropping the kids off, and I saw her, and I was like, dang, is she fine? You know, but anyways, so when I found out that her and her boyfriend broke up,
I moved in with Brooke.
Yeah,
me and Flossie both were living with Brooke.
So I'm like, I'm going to stay with Brooke. You know, and
which you used to anyways.
I did all the time anyways. But so like I got off the rig or something. I don't remember if I just drove out or I got off the rig.
You got off the rig.
And I came in, and my cousin Brooke and her friend were at the bar. But I was coming into Brooke's house, but Nanette was there.
Because I babysitting
all the kids while they went to the bar. So
I didn't go.
I came in at like 12 o'clock at night, and she's in there watching The Lion King. All the kids are asleep, and she's in there like sitting in there watching The Lion King. So I like come in and sit down, and I'm like, hey, what did I say? Like I was thinking, me and you ought to go on a date somewhere.
I was like, you said I would like to take you out on a date.
Yeah. And then we went on a date. Took her to Chili's. And I found out what her favorite food was, but she didn't order it. And I'm like, I was going to order it for her, actually. But it was ribs, right? So she didn't want to eat ribs in front of me, you know, on a date. She didn't want to get messy. She didn't want to get all messy and stuff. So I was actually going to find out what her favorite food was. And then I was going to order it for her, you know.
He found out where my favorite place to eat was. He even asked Brooke if she would babysit. So when Brooke told me, she's like, he's going to ask you out on a date. And I was like, no, I just got a relationship. Like, I got 2 kids, you know. And Brooke had told me about like him and Tracy, that they were very back and forth. So I was like, yeah. But then he asked me out on a date. And I literally, to this day, I can see Sean coming into Brooke's house at midnight. He had on a camouflage jacket, and he had this like big duffel bag. And I remember he like opened the door, and the door like swings in, and his duffel bag like kind of got hung up, and he just like yanked it, and he like walked in and like sat down, and he's like, so I was thinking, you know, maybe I could take you out for like dinner sometime. And I already had it in my mind, like, I'm going to tell him no. Like, I just got a relationship. I have 2 kids. He's going to get back with his girlfriend at some point. But then, like, when he asked me, it was just so sweet. And I was like, nobody's ever asked me out on a date before. Like, all these guys I've dated, nobody's ever asked me out on a date like that. Thank you, Becky. So I was like, okay. Well, I was like, well, I don't have anybody to watch the kids. And he was like, why did you talk to Brooke? She said she would watch them. And I was like,
I had all the get out of jail free cards covered. You know, I had already thought about it. I'm like, she's going to try to play
the kid card.
The kid card. I'm going to have to cover that.
So he's like, I already talked to Brooke. She said she would watch them. So I was like, okay.
I did stay over, but I didn't sleep.
He did stay over.
Night, you know, I just slept in the living room, I think. Where did I sleep?
We slept in the middle bedroom.
Because
I think the next morning you like called Brooke to bring you a beer.
Yeah, because that's how bad I was back then. Yeah. I would wake up at like 6 o'clock in the morning after I've been drinking all night.
It's like me and Brooke were in the bed. Me, Brooke, and Flossie. We all slept in the bed together. And he called Brooke and was like, hey, will you bring me a beer? and over to the side, the 3 buttons. Yeah, down. No. You need to they're gonna pop right back up. You got to kick them.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to wait for it to say something.
Okay, I'll get them.
But he called Brooke and was like, "Hey, can you bring me a beer?"
Well, I never got hung over
Brooke was like, "Bring him a beer." So I got up and I brought him a beer, and I thought,
I never got hung over because
I don't like this.
what I did was
He would start drinking
for some
immediately.
reason. Whenever I used to drink alcohol, I would wake up after a couple hours of sleep, and I would start drinking again. Like it always like wired me up, right? So I would like go to sleep and I'd still be drunk, and I'd wake up still drunk, and I'd just keep drinking. And I did that I worked 14 days on the rig and 14 days off. And I did that for 14 days. Every time I came home for a long time. Yeah, I never got hungover. I just stayed drunk the whole time. Yeah.
That was another thing too. I was like, he drinks. Like, I don't live that life. I
drank a lot.
Went home. And because my roommates, Brooke and Flossie, they were like partying a lot. I watched kids. I was a manager of I managed a finance company. I don't know if you guys have World Finances where you are. World Finance. I managed the one where we lived. So I would get off work. Flossie and her boyfriend had broke up not too long before that. Trey's dad. So she was going through a rough time. Brooke and her baby daddy had broke up. She was going through a rough time. And me and my baby daddy had broke up. And while I was going through a rough time, I was the more mature one, apparently, because they literally went to the bar every night that it was open, and I kept the kids. Now, Flossie kept the kids while we worked. Me and Brooke worked. She worked at the bank. I worked at World Finance.
How old were we?
I was 21.
And I was 23.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Lauren. I really didn't have a problem stopping drinking. I just quit one day. I don't know why I did.
I mean, you wanted to drink, and I kind of put a stop to it because he got a DWI. And did you get a DWI? He got you got a DWI.
No, I didn't. I got charged with a DWI, but I never.
It never went on his record.
I used to always get out of trouble. I don't know how, but I always did. And that's the way I always been. Like, I got in a lot of trouble when I was a teenager, and I used to always get out of it. I don't know why. My mama said it's because I'm always real respectful, even when I get in trouble, right? So I'm like, yes, sir, no, sir. So I would get in trouble and do things I wasn't supposed to do, but I would just be real respectful. And that would make people always give me extra chances, right? Or with that, my grandpa, it was kind of known, and he kind of knew the DA. The DA knows who my family is, so it was kind of I had to do community service, but my community service was just helping my grandpa, which I did anyways. And I went to his little farm or whatever, and I helped him out all the time anyway. So, but I don't.
When he got pulled over, he was drinking a lot, and he had a high tolerance. Him and his cousin was riding back roads. I mean, he probably, I just spit, wasn't drunk, but when you blow in that thing, it's it's going to have you over the limit.
I mean, I was definitely impaired, but.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. I mean, back then I'm embarrassed to say it, but I mean, I used to.
So I put a stop to it at that point because I was at home with my 2 kids, and it was 3:00 in the morning, and I got a call from State Trooper, and I had to go to work the next day that said, "Hey, we have your boyfriend," he was my boyfriend at the time, pulled over such and such. If you don't come get the vehicle, we're going to impound it. He's going to jail. I'm 21, but I'm grown. like, I got 2 kids. I don't play this craziness. I'm grown folk, you know? So I'm like, so I call his cousin Brooke. And I'm like, I need you to come here. Their aunt lived with Brooke for the most part. So Brooke's aunt stayed with the kids. And I think, yes, actually, they brought Brooke's kids to my house. So she stayed there with all of the kids. And me and Brooke went to where there was pulled over at. And I remember asking the cop, can I talk to him? And he said, as long as you don't hit him. And I said, I'm not going to hit him. And he said, okay. So I walked up to the car, and I don't remember what I said, but he said, are you going to get me out? And I said, nope. And he said, well, call my mama then. And I said, I'm not calling your mama at this time of the morning. And he just like hung his head, and I walked off, and I was like, I cannot believe you. So I went to work the next morning, and the guy that worked there with me, we were talking, and he said something about Sean, and I was like, oh yeah, Sean got a DWI. He's in jail. He was like, what? I was like, yeah, Sean got a DWI. He's in jail. And he was like, you didn't go get him? And I was like, no. I was like, I had to come to work today. And he was like, go get that boy out of jail. And I was like, what? He's like, go get him out of jail. And I was like, really? Like, you think I should? And he was like, yes, go get him out of jail. Everybody always like Sean, so
What?
I went and got him out of jail.
See, I didn't mind sitting in jail, though. I mean, I didn't never mind sitting in jail. I went to jail a couple times, you know. I didn't never mind sitting. I just slept, you know. One time, I ain't getting into all that. But anyways, I used to live pretty crazy, man.
We're from Louisiana.
I don't live like that anymore, but
That was when I put a stop to it. I was like, I'm grown. I got kids. I cannot be coming up to the, like.
The thing about me quitting drinking, though, I had to quit all the time when I went to the rig anyways, right?
Yeah, it wasn't like a problem.
So I would like go to the rig and like detox. I would like go to the rig. Would? Oh yeah. Like my first day, I would be like ghost white and shaking, but you work hard out there.
Really? That's wild.
So
I didn't know that.
Man, there were times that people would be like, man, you are so white. And I'd be over there shaking, feeling like I'm about to fall out, just wanting to get drunk.
That's so wild.
And but you work so hard out there, and it's so hot out there.
Your blue fingernail.
that you sweat it out so quickly, you know, that like within a day or two, you're good, you know. And after a day of me going to the rig and like just kind of getting over all the alcohol and sweating all the alcohol out and everything, then I had nothing to do but work. So I was always occupied, you know. And it was just, I don't know. I mean, and eventually it just got to where I didn't want to drink anymore. And like, I might drink a beer or something here and there.
When was the last time you drank a beer?
Like probably 6 months or 4 months ago, maybe. Remember when I was working on my truck that one time I bought like a 6-pack and I drank a couple beers, but.
I bet I've drank like 6 times in like 16 years. Like since I had my daughter. Like one thing is like, okay, so I like partied when I was like young. Like I think I started going out at like 15. Then I got pregnant at 17. And when I got pregnant though, I become like so like grown folk. You know, like get a job, take care of my kids, start like I bought my first car. And I was very like, I don't know, like such a like helicopter mama with Paris. I did not leave her with people for me to go out. Like
I lived on the rig for 2 weeks. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. So I just like, I mean, I always knew I wanted kids. Like I used to say like I wanted 4 when I was little. And I always say that like it was what I was meant to do, like be a mom. So I was like happy with that. But then I was like, you know, I had to work after I had Paris. So I turned 18 February 2005. Well, then I had her March 2005. I had already finished school though, because I actually found out I was pregnant the summer before my senior year. So I just like knuckled down and finished early. I finished school December 2004, and I did not have to go back until my graduation, like May 2005. So I actually had Kennedy. I actually had Paris there with me at my graduation. My mama had her in the audience. Oh, how did my mom act?
You know what's crazy about that?
I'm an Aquarius.
Out here, it was not abnormal.
She was disappointed, though.
Yeah, it was not abnormal for girls to get pregnant so early. Like, one of my cousins got married when she was like 14, Jody. And then Brooke got married when she was what?
16.
16, and they had kids early. And it just wasn't totally abnormal for girls to get married early or have babies early out there. It's just like I went to a huge high school and I literally don't know of any girl. Now, I'm sure there was probably girls that had abortions or something, but I can't think of one girl that I knew personally that had a kid. Honestly.
See, and when I went to high school, there was literally at least one pregnant person in my class from the time of a freshman to a senior. There was always at least one pregnant person in every one of my classes. So it was so common at my school.
It's crazy.
I was going out a lot with my cousin Adam. Best friends. Adam married Brooke. They're not together anymore. But my cousin married his cousin. I was best friends with Brooke. He was really good friends with Adam. So I was going out a lot. Me and Michael had been on and off since I was 12, literally since I was 12. I remember someone talked crap about that at one point. Like, what kind of mom lets their daughter date at 12? Well, at 12, it was different. We were just on the phone, As we dated longer and I got a little bit older, he started coming to the house and we started getting to go places and stuff like that.
And AOL came out.
Oh, yeah. AOL. The little running yellow guy.
Yeah. Then there's AOL sitting around waiting until somebody called the phone line.
Yeah, well, his 14-year-old cousin is married, but not to that guy. She's married to someone else.
Yeah.
She has 2 kids. She had 2 kids by that guy. They got a divorce, and she's married to someone else. Todd. She's not married to Todd anymore. Actually,
talking about Jody.
Actually, I think her other husband's name is Todd as well. Isn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
I think she married another guy named Todd. Anyways, the airman is cold.
I don't know. I'm like real tired.
I was going out a lot. Me and my boyfriend was like very off and on. What's so crazy is my brother, we were at like this party, one of my friends, we all hung out with the same people. Like, it was like in town. It wasn't like school friends. It was like where we lived. Get that. That is just so ridiculous. Jesus is our friend. Jesus wouldn't say anything like that. I'm going to pray for you
they're
tonight.
Obviously being condescending because we're Christians, which is so funny. You got people that, just, all inclusive people that, but then they talk crap about, Christians, right? And what Christians believe. I don't know. It's so weird to me.
So
are you about to get into all that?
Hold on. There's a sighting reported in Alabama.
Yeah, I've seen that. I don't know if it's him.
That's not breaking news. Okay. So we were at there was a party in the town that we lived in. The guy was like all of our friends. So we was there and my brother showed up with the girl that he'd been dating and tells us that he's going to be a dad. My brother, and I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah.
Hey, how's it going, Campbell?
And he tells us that he got this other girl pregnant though, which the girl that he had there with him, they weren't dating. They were just buddies. You know what I'm saying? My brother had a lot of buddies. So he tells us, he's like, yeah, I got this girl, Chrissy, pregnant. And I'm like, who is Chrissy? I had never met Chrissy. But he had been seeing this girl named Chrissy for a couple months, and she was pregnant. And I was like, that is so crazy because you've been talking to Amber for a while. And he was like, yeah, me and Amber off and on. I haven't, but I'm going to join that. I haven't joined it yet.
Campbell Choctaw. I drilled all in that around the Choctaw area and reservation in Oklahoma when I was working on land. I don't know if it's state, but anyways, it's probably a female. But we drilled for oil all in that area, so it's pretty cool. Anyways, I probably know where you live or have been around where you live.
My sister was dating this guy named Eric. They lived together. About a month after, this is my husband. So, Chris. So about a month after.
Who's Chris?
I don't know. The guy in the thing. My boyfriend. Mm-hmm. So about a month after that, my sister Stephanie calls and tells us that she's pregnant. And I lived with my mom. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. So she actually calls my mom and tells my mom to come to the house. And my mom goes up there, and then she comes back and she's like, Stephanie's pregnant. And I'm like, what? That's so exciting. Now I'm going to have 2 nieces or nephews, potential. Because my brother has his girlfriend or his buddy pregnant. And now my sister, she's pregnant. Well, Flossie had started dating a guy named Bubba. Bubba and Chrissy were brother and sister. So my brother Dustin, his baby mama Chrissy,
and they're my cousins.
And they're both Sean's cousins because they're brother and sister, obviously. Chrissy has a brother named Bubba. Bubba dates Flossie, my sister. Chrissy dates Dustin, my brother. They're both Sean's cousins. So, anyways, I knew of Bubba, but I had not met him. I didn't really hang out with Flossie like that during that time. So she was at her boyfriend's house a lot. Dustin has started hanging out over there a lot. Anyways, probably about 2 months maybe after my sister found out. Stop shaking your leg before I punch you. I'm just kidding.
I'm tired. I gotta shake my leg. Or I'm gonna fall asleep.
So probably about 2 months after my sister told us she was pregnant, I was at her house and we were talking about her being pregnant. And I was like, you know what? Come to think of it, I haven't had a period in a minute. And she was like, what's a minute? And I was like, I don't know. I think it's going on 2 months. And so me and my friend went and actually got some pregnancy tests. And then we came back and I went in the bathroom. I took the pregnancy test. And I remember, it's so wild. I'm so blind. I peed on it, but I actually had it flipped upside down. So the part that you're supposed to watch was underneath. So I pee on the stick, or maybe I peed on the cup and stuck it on. I don't really remember. But either way, I set it down on a napkin, paper towel, face down where the window was actually face down, but there was a little indention on the bottom, which to me was my top, right? There's a little indention there. And I'm sitting there looking at the indention. I was thinking it's the window because I was so stupid. I didn't even know. And nothing happens with this indention. Baby, go to bed. Go to bed, baby. I'll be in a minute.
All right. I'll see y'all later. Y'all have a good one.
You're going to sit here and fall asleep, and then people's going to make memes of you and say you're on drugs. Right. Yes, Flossie is married. Flossie's been married for several years. So, your headset is in the kitchen plugged up. So, after a few minutes, I was like, it's a dud, it didn't do anything. So I grab it and I throw it in the trash. And when I threw it in the trash, it popped over. And I saw that it was positive. And I was like, oh my goodness, have you ever had one sit out too long and it's positive? That happened to me once. Took a million more and didn't do it again. No, I don't think so. Mine always immediately popped up. Every time I ever took a pregnancy test, I swear it was positive, pretty much. So I was just like, even though I said like that, I thought like, that I knew that I had my period or whatever, I still like, I was just like, no, I'm not pregnant. Surely not, So when I saw the positive, I was just like, oh my goodness. Well, my sister had actually walked up to her mother-in-law's house. Her mother-in-law lived right up the street. So when we left to go get the test, she walked up the street and she actually said like, hey, I'm going to be up here. I'm going to be up here at my mother-in-law's when you get back with the pregnancy test, call me. I'll come home. I want to be here when you take it. But I didn't call her. I just took it. And then it was positive. And I was like, and I was 17. And I was like, oh my God. Like she's pregnant. My brother's girlfriend's pregnant. Now I'm pregnant. My mom has 4 kids. So at this point, this is the 3rd child that in a matter of like 4 months that I come up pregnant, right? Maybe 3 months. So me and my friend, Ashley is my bestest friend from way back. Like to this day, we are friends. She's my longest friend to date. Ashley is the one that got me trouble because when I got arrested, she said it was probably that YouTuber. And ever since then, Katie's like, she said it was me. And I'm like, I didn't say that. My friend said it. Okay. So, babe, I'm literally, maybe I'm talking just as loud. I don't know. Yes, I used to keep up with my cycle. I don't anymore. There's no reason to really. So I walked down, me and my best friend, we walked down to my sister's mother-in-law's house. And we walk in and my sister's like, and I'm like, and she's like, and I'm like, and she's like, and like, I don't know what to do because like, I didn't want to be like thumbs up because that's like, yay, and I wasn't like a yay. So I was like, so she like wraps it up with her mother-in-law and we go back to her house. We walk back to her house and I tell her that, I'm pregnant and she's just like, we got to call mama. And I'm like, I know. She's like, we have to go tell mama. That's what she said. I'm like, I know. So what's so crazy is I was 17, but I was a smoker. Everybody in my family smoked. My grandma smokes. Everyone in my aunts smoke, except my mom. My mom don't smoke. I have one aunt that don't smoke, but she dips. But like everyone in my family started smoking from a really young age. So like I said, I partied like 16, 17. So I was like a smoker, So my sister was like, you better go smoke your last cigarette because like you're pregnant now, And I went outside and I sat on her swing and I lit my cigarette and I took one puff of it and I immediately felt bad. Now I'm not bashing anybody that, like that did smoke when they were pregnant. Like I could not do it. I just couldn't do it. Like I literally took one puff and I immediately thought like the smoke is going directly to my baby. Like I'm suffocating my baby. Like that was my thought. 17 years old. I thought I'm suffocating my baby. I threw the cigarette away and couldn't smoke after that. So I went in and I was like, can't smoke. We need to go tell mama. So we go to mama's, which was where I lived. And my sister Stephanie, we walk in and she was like, it's the country. We live in the country. So she was like, well, mama, we need to talk to you. Go ahead and sit down, take a seat. And my mom was like, is Flossie pregnant? She immediately was like, is Flossie pregnant? And Stephanie was like, no, Net is. And she was like, oh, what? And I was like, I'm sorry, mama. Like I cried. I was so like upset with myself. And she was like, oh, I just can't believe this. I just can't believe this. And like, we have a big family and I have an aunt. Aunt Fatty is what we call her. Yes, Aunt Fatty. She's not fat. We should call her Aunt Fatty. She's like the ringleader of our family. So like, if you get her like okay with something, like the whole family would be okay with it basically. So she's like, I got to call Fatty. So my mom calls my Aunt Fatty. Hey, Marilyn. And she's like, I need you to come over here, Fatty. I need to talk to y'all. So Aunt Fatty says, is Flossie pregnant? And she goes, no, it ain't Flossie. Come over here. So my Aunt Fatty and my Uncle Bill come, and they sit down, and she's like, Net's pregnant. And I'm sitting there across the living room, and Aunt Fatty says, oh, Net, are you serious? And I was like, I'm sorry. And I'm like crying. I'm like, I didn't mean to. I'm so sorry. And she was like, well, you're going to have to quit school. And I was like, what? And I'm like, I'm not going to school. She's like, you can't go to school big, fat, and pregnant. You got to get a job. You got to take care of this baby. Your mom's not going to take care of the baby. And I was like, no, I'm not quitting school. She was like, you're not going to be embarrassed. I was like, there's literally a pregnant girl in every one of my classes. I'm not going to be embarrassed. Like, I'm not quitting school. And she was like, okay, then. So then they call my grandma. And my mom is like, we got something to tell you. Looks like you're going to have another great grandbaby. And my grandma says, Flossie's pregnant. Nobody suspected that it would be me. Nobody at all suspected that I would be the one that was pregnant. And my mom was like, no, it's Net. And my granny was like, what? So Flossie came home like during like my Aunt Fatty being there before we called my grandmother. Flossie was actually at work that day. So when Flossie comes home, we tell her. And then we tell her how, like, everybody was guessing that it was her. And she was so offended. She was like, what? I'm not pregnant. She was like, I just had my period last week. I'm not pregnant. I can't believe everybody think that it was me, right? So we sat in our bedroom, me and Flossie and my cousin Adam, just talking about the fact that I was pregnant and how everybody thought it was Flossie and how she was offended that they thought that it was her. And literally the next week, exactly 1 week to the day, I found out I was pregnant on the Thursday. The very next Thursday, Flossie found out she was pregnant. And I was like, I thought you weren't pregnant. I thought there was no way you could be pregnant. I thought you just had your period last week. Like, are you serious, Flossie? So it was very funny that, like, she was, like, so bothered that everybody thought that it was her. And then literally 7 days, she found out she was pregnant with Trey. And I was actually due before her. I was supposed to have Paris first. She was supposed to have Trey after me, but she had Trey like January 2nd, 2005. And I had Paris March 23rd, 2005. But Trey was due in like April. So yeah, my mom got 4 grandbabies in the span of, because the first grandbaby, her birthday is October 5th, then October 13th, January 2nd, and March 23rd. So October to March, she became a grandmother times 4. So yeah, how did I get the nickname Net? Well, my middle name, before I got married and dropped it, was Annette. Blank Annette, whatever, Annette. And my mom just started calling me Net, and then everybody called me Net. We are a family of nicknames, though. Like, my mom's name is Little Bit. Nobody calls her Fonda. Even like where we live, everybody knows her as Little Bit. I have an Aunt Fatty. I have an uncle brother. He's my uncle, my mom's brother. Flossie, Net. I mean, there's just so many nicknames. I was at my sister's with the first 2 children. My boobs hurt. My sister said, you're pregnant. I said, I don't know. We got to test you. And yes, that was actually something else that happened too, Sarah. That like the day or 2 before that, I remember my boobs being really tender. Not that I really had boobs at the time, but what little boobs that I had, they were like really tender, you know. And I didn't know why. But now after that, I love the name Delaney. That's, I don't know if yours is like Delaney or just Delane, but I love both of those names. I actually had a cousin named Delane, boy cousin. He actually got cancer when he was little. He was at St. Jude's a lot. And he actually lived until he was like 30, got married, had kids, and then he passed away. The cancer came back and he passed away. I have an aunt mom. That's funny. Flossie is doing well. I just saw her the other day. She came to Caden's last night. So Caden had a JV game tonight. So today I worked. I recorded videos. Got the kids off to school. Made breakfast. Ate. Me and Kennedy hung out for a little bit. And I started done my makeup and everything. Recorded some videos, and then Caden had a JV game at 5:30. Eli had football practice at 5:30. Paris had dance line practice from 5 to 7. And then as soon as we got home, we had to do homework, feed the kids, bathe the kids, and then right after we got the kids like laying down and settled, I jumped on the live or whatever. But yeah, she's doing good. They went on a trip to Arkansas not too long ago. Flossie, Luke, my mom, my other sisters, and they took my 2 oldest kids. I didn't go. It's crazy busy lately. Like I have so many appointments coming up as well. Like if I did a day in the life, you guys wouldn't even believe it. Like when I tell y'all, I only sit down when I'm either filming or doing homework or at like a ball game. That is literally, I'm up like boop, 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 boop. Where did Flossie get her nickname now? From what I understand, when she was very little, they said the way that she walked, she would just floss around. I don't even know how flossing around. I don't know what that means. But my uncle brother, I think, gave her the nickname because the way she walked, they was like, she's just flossing around all the time. So I don't know. So yeah, I hate the name Delane because that was my best friend's stepdad's name. First person introduced me to my friends. Oh, geez, that's crazy, Matt. But my normal day, like I get up, get 5 of the kids off to school. When they go to school, I brush my teeth. I go make breakfast. Kennedy usually wakes up, like sometimes she'll wake up before the kids leave. If they're like loud, she'll wake up. If not, she'll wake up by like 8:30. She's awake. So I like brush my teeth. I eat. She usually wakes up. I'll like be picking up or something. She'll wake up. So I feed her. We spend some time together. Like the other morning, Sean bought like a bath bomb maker set thing. So we made bath bombs. I sent Cece pictures of them actually. We made like 2 bath bombs by like 7:30 in the morning. And then I try to start getting ready at like 9:30 or 10. Usually while I'm doing my hair and makeup, I'm reading what I want to cover. Like I start looking for like stories about like Teen Mom or Jersey Shore. Or I'm like Googling, I'm hitting up the Ashley, I'm checking out TMZ. I'm trying to see what, what LOL did. What? I'm missing that. So I think I missed something. So literally as I'm doing my makeup and my hair, I'll be either reading for like the video that I want to do, or Kennedy will be in there with me if Sean hasn't woken up, and she'll be doing her makeup. She'll play with my makeup. She'll get in my brushes. I'll have to clean them because she'll like, you know, sometimes she's like bronzer everywhere, blue eyeshadow, you know, if she's in there with me. Sometimes she'll like go lay back down with her dad and watch TV, or sometimes she'll come in here and watch TV, or sometimes she'll hang out in there with me. So usually by like 11:30 or 12, I try to be ready to start filming. So I set everything up back there, which most of it's already set up. I just have to fix my lights and everything. And I sat down at the desk back there and I start filming, and I film from like 11:30 to like 2:30 to like 11:30 to like 2. Then I get off and I start editing. Like I'm like nonstop. So like today, Paris was texting me because she needed to come home. She needed me to email the school so she could come home on her lunch. And I was literally like, just started recording, and I record with my phone. So I just started recording, and I'm getting like message after her, for her, you know. Oh, I'm gonna talk about that in just a second. So then I'm like having to stop recording to check her message. Then I see that she needs me to email the school so she can check out and come home for lunch. So then I have to email the school, and it's like, I'm like, Paris, like I'm working. But then
And
like-
he was just like, Sonny, stop.
oh, really?
Yeah. I miss Sonny.
I know. That's so crazy
Yeah.
that she was saying
But
that.
I like picked her up and gave her a kiss, and she's like, Sonny, stop. Because, she's sleeping all crazy on the bed, so I was like straightening her out.
That's so wild. She thought it was Sunny. I'm gonna do a makeup video one day, I promise. I don't do a good smoky eye though, I don't think so anyways. I always think my eyes look crazy. I always think my eyebrows look terrible. Sometimes I'll do a good job on the eyebrows. Most of the time, no, I feel like. But I'm getting the powder brows next month. I'm going to get the powder brows done.
She's going to leave me all day.
All day, I'm going to be gone getting the powder brows. But at like 2, I try to stop so I can have like an hour and a half of editing because the kids get off the bus at like 3:30, 3:45. So I try to edit until they get home. Then they get home, they're throwing their bags, I got to get their water bottles and wash them and refill them for the next day. I got to get their school clothes off, and I wash their school clothes every day. Like they probably have like 3 outfits a piece, and they have red, white, and black shirts. But I'll swap their shirts up, like different colors. But for the most part, I don't think any of them has worn their other pants yet because I just wash the same pants over and over and over. When those like wear out or get a hole in it, then I'll like grab the new ones that we have. So every day I wash school clothes. They eat, and then like 5, we start getting Eli ready for his practice. I have 6 children. So then Sean will either take Eli, and some of the kids will go with him, or I'll take Eli. If he takes Eli, then I'll like stay home and like clean, do more editing to put the videos up or whatever. But it's nonstop. Like after like we get Eli back from practice, then it's like baths, eat, homework, bed, brush your teeth, bed, so
our kids get filthy
when they go to see Eli play.
Eli's practice.
Yeah.
Because they have, like, where he practices, they have a park there. So they, like, play on a park, and they get so filthy.
Like, my mom will, like, call, and, like, a lot of times I'm working, so, like, I want to answer, and, like, sometimes I'll notice, like, I went 2 weeks without talking to my mom because I'm just so, like, busy. So then on Saturday, I try not to work on the weekends. Saturday, I usually sleep in a little bit because I'm up every day by like 6, and then I'm up to like midnight at the latest, at the earliest. Most of the time like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So
sometimes you'll get tired during the week.
Yeah, sometimes I get tired during the week.
And you'll go to bed early or something.
Yeah.
Or like you'll just sleep during the day.
I'll like take a nap during the day.
She runs till she crashes.
I definitely do.
Hard.
So Saturday, I'll try to take a nap during the day, but then I try to spend Saturday and like Sunday with the kids. And then Sunday evening, I'll like try to really clean and like,
She runs until she crashes, and then she crashes hard and sleeps with her mouth wide open. It's so crazy. I'm like, dang, she looks dead over there with her mouth open like that.
So yes, I did hear about the situation with Katie. You guys, I've noticed it mentioned several times, and I know you guys want me to put my thoughts in on there, so I'm going to. I will share with you guys what she said for anybody that is not aware. This is for entertaining purposes only. Do not take anything that I state as facts. Do your own research to determine your own opinion. Do not send hate to anyone that I'm about to mention or that I have mentioned in this video. This video is not meant to harass, bully, attack, or defame anyone. And please do not go attack anyone just because of what I'm talking about. So, now, Sean, you're going to have to remind me, but when the Gabby case first came out, Katie made a comment. Someone asked her, are you going to cover the Gabby Petito case. And she said,
Yeah.
what did she say? Sean's going to have to tell you
She
guys.
said something to the effect of, I'm going to cover it, but basically saying that she's so busy with, like her normal content that, she might, if she's going to cover it if she gets to it.
If she gets to it.
If she can,
So someone asked her, like, so are you going to cover it? And she said, oh, if I get to it, I got a lot of other content that I'm working on. So if I get to it.
Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And that is absolutely fine. Like, if that's what you want to do. But then she later on said that she was led to cover it because Gabby reminded her of her best friend. Whatever. Maybe, whatever.
Does she have I don't know.
I've never known of her to have a best friend.
I'm going to bed.
I love you. I'll be in there in a little bit, babe. So here's this. If anyone is wondering, this was the day before Gabby was found, I want to say, or maybe the day of. She tweeted this. If anyone is wondering, the FBI is seemingly following up on all tips. Due to my reporting on Gabby Petito's disappearance, someone reported that Brian Laundrie was hiding in my home in Minnesota. Police came here and determined that was not a valid lead. Hashtag Gabby Petito. Now, what's crazy is she used the hashtag. So like her Gabby Petito's family could potentially see this, which led a lot of people to get upset about it. Kennedy's crying. A lot of people got upset about it because they're like, she's literally doing this for like attention from the family, right? There was something else that I wanted to say before that. Oh, when she first started covering it, she called her Gabby Petito. That was something else that it really ticked off a lot of people, was she was calling her Gabby Petito. And it was like, if you're going to cover this girl who's missing, that a lot of people, like, they're really invested in this, please, and you're a journalist and you've like written articles, like, say her name correctly. She called her Gabby Petito like several times before she called her Gabby Petito. So she posted this saying that the police had been to her house in Minnesota due to her reporting on Gabby's disappearance, right? Well, a lot of people was calling BS on it. So someone on Twitter pulled this, which is a list of all her local police department. It is the call log, daily police activity. This is the date, and it tells the time and what the police went out for. Check area, disturbance, assault, disturbance, suspicious activity, harassment, traffic, accident, hit and run, disturbance, welfare check, disturbance, traffic accident, medical assistance, welfare check, larceny of vehicle, restraining order violation. So none of these had anything to do with the Brian Laundrie situation. Nothing on here said check for a missing person. Nothing like that. And I don't know Katie's address, but whoever posted this obviously does, because they said Katie's address is not on there. Now, even if her, like, I don't know her address, but what I was looking for was, something about a missing person. Now, found child happened at 7:44 p.m. on that day. From my understanding, she went live around this time talking about it. So it would have been, or somewhere earlier in the day, where the cops would have showed up. So someone pulled this, they knew her address, and they was like, yeah, no, nobody came to her address. Now it could, she could very well say that it was a neighboring county that showed up. Now, what Katie did say, though, was that the police showed up at her house. Hold on 1 second, you guys. Hold up a second.
I just didn't want.
Sorry, you guys. Sean was worried that I was doxing somebody because there was addresses on there.
Addresses, but I didn't realize that he doesn't even say.
It don't say anybody's
The area
name.
or anything.
It don't say anybody's name, and it don't say their exact address. It just says like 1300 block, 23rd. So like 1300 block of Indian Hills Drive would be like 1321. It's just like the general, like the street or whatever, the block. It's not the actual. But either way, her address is not on here. Now, what she said was that the cops showed up in bulletproof vest and knocked on her door. Now, keep in mind, they are looking for a person of interest. You know, I don't think they're just going to come knock on your door if they think you have Brian laundry in your basement. I don't think. Did you see that channel with Chris Ball versus with Chris Ball tweeted the people involved to actually ask if this happened? I didn't see that, but that's a really good YouTube channel to follow. If you guys do not follow with WOACB versus WOACB, you guys go follow it. Gotcha. No, okay. Maybe. Yeah, Sean was like freaking out. He said, "Get that off. Get that. You're doxing people." So she said they showed up wearing Kevlar vests, and it contradicts her constant complaining that her jurisdiction don't wear them. Yeah. So she claimed that they just knocked on the door, and she even said that she offered to let them come in and search her house, and they said no. That they said, "Oh no, that's fine. We believe you." If they were following up on a lead to the point to where they went to your house, I think they would check. Cops have a tendency, because most people, you know, I've heard this before. Like, I've read articles about this. Because cops, a lot of the people that they deal with do lie to them, they tend to believe that people are lying even when they aren't lying. So like, even in my situation, when I was like, I don't do drugs, they automatically assumed I just was lying. Most of the people they deal with lie. So cops are not they're not trusting everybody. You know, they don't just trust people. So I feel like if the cops took the time out of their night to go to your house to follow up on a lead, they were going to check your basement.
They can't.
Yeah.
I mean, they wouldn't be able to go in.
She invited them.
But, you know.
And they said no, according to her.
Police thing. I don't believe it for 1 second, but, you know, I just don't believe it. But the thing is, like, there's different agencies out there. I don't believe that anybody, even if somebody would have called and like said that Katie might have him, that they would even pursue that, because she's not somebody. The FBI is digging all through his phone records, you know, through everything, through people he knows. They already know who he knows, who he's associated with. They've talked to tons of people, you know, friends of Gabby, who obviously knew him. You know, they've talked to a bunch of people. They're not going to go after these BS claims that are in completely different state. You know, I just don't believe that for 1 second. There has to be some, because there's going to be crazy calls on a big case like this. Mm-hmm. You know, there's going to be tons of crazy calls. I just don't believe for 1 second that the cops would actually pursue, even if anybody was to call them and tell them that, you know, somebody had Brian off in a different state that has no connection to the family, no connection to Brian, no connection whatsoever. I don't believe for 1 second that they would even pursue that. You know? Right.
I don't either. I don't either. Another thing that she said was the caller told the police that they saw a video of Todd with a gun to Katie's head. So that's another thing. Is like, so the police just calmly showed up at your house, knocked on the door, but the call that they got was that you was hiding Brian laundry in your basement and that your husband had a gun to your head. And that there was video of that, right? So they're not just going to show up at your house and just knock, knock if they heard that. She said that they stayed over an hour. She said that while they were there, the FBI called and said, we've cleared the case. And so I think this was actually when the body was found. And that's what she's trying to say, like, oh, they were at my house when the FBI called them and like basically confirmed that they found her body because they said they cleared the case. That's what she's saying, that the FBI called the cops that was at her house and over the phone said, we've cleared the case. Well, why would they say they've cleared the case? There's everybody still looking for Brian. Like, they were there to look for Brian, right? Not looking for Gabby. So why would the FBI call them and say, we've cleared the case? They would not call them and say that they've cleared the case. So then, let me see if I have it. I don't think I have it. Let me send it to myself. So while she was live saying that the cops come to her house, apparently her neighbor was in the chat. Someone named Madison. Now, I can't prove that this is her neighbor. You know, maybe it's just someone under a sock account that is claiming to be her neighbor. I'm not sure. But this person was in her chat, and I'm going to show you guys what she said. Okay, so this person was in Katie's chat. This is actually a screenshot of Katie's chat. This says, we sat on our first, I don't have the first screenshot, but the first screenshot that I saw was on Twitter, and it said, Katie, tell the truth, or Katie, don't lie. If anybody has the first screenshot, please send it to me on my email. But the first screenshot said, Katie, don't lie. We're your neighbor. That's not what happened, or something to that effect. And then the person said, we sat on their front porch and we could hear most of it. I'm assuming they meant we sat on our front porch and we could hear most of it. So the first official, like the first comment that this person left said, Katie, do not lie. We're your neighbor. That's not what the police were there for. Something to that effect. And then they said, we sat on our front porch. We could hear most of it. You're lying. Now, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if that's really Katie's neighbor. I have no proof that it is. It could just be somebody just doing that. One thing that Katie actually said early on was that she would not, someone like thanked her for covering it and was like, are you going to do more videos? And she was like, I'm trying to, but this is such a fast-paced situation that I may not, good night, Becky, I may not get to do a video every time something new comes out, but I will post on my IG account each time something develops in the case. Anytime something new comes out, I will post it on my IG. And the person was like, thank you. And she was like, you're welcome. I will only post things that are confirmed. I will not be posting like theories or anything like that. It will only be stuff that is confirmed. I wish I would have took a screenshot of that because that's what she told that person, like only confirmed stuff I will be posting. Then she posts this. Hold on. After, oh, you can see that Sean was messaging me during that, but then she posts this. Social media is starting to run with the rumor that Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie's disappearance is part of an elaborate hoax to gain followers. A wild tale that at this point could be an even wilder plot twist. To date, police and FBI have stated there is no evidence of a crime. Now, that is not confirmed. That was not confirmed. Like, that was a wild theory, like a rumor. She literally told her person, like she literally told her follower on IG, I will only post stuff that has been confirmed. Then she turns around and she puts it out there that this is possibly like some elaborate hoax. What? Why would you do that to their family? Like that is that's so uncalled for to say that, because I can assure you her mom and dad and stepmom and stepdad are not on TV begging for people to come forward because it's a part of an elaborate hoax. Like, really? Like, that is offensive to the family who has literally been on TV asking like Brian's family to come forward, asking Brian, please tell us where she is. That is literally just the most ridiculous thing ever. Like, I remember there was this girl that passed away. She was on TV. She was a reality TV star, and she passed away. And someone said that they heard that her passing was faked, that she faked it for, attention. And, I can't even understand what that would do for the family, like to the family of the person that just passed away. When you like get online and you see people saying, oh, it's an elaborate hoax, like they're faking their death for attention. Like, what? Like that. Like, my thing is, like, even if it was in your mind, like me as a YouTuber that does commentary, I cover Teen Mom, I don't really talk about this kind of stuff that much, but say, news come out that like something happened to Kel Lowry, right? But then there was these weird situations going on that led me to believe that maybe it didn't happen, like passing, that maybe it didn't. There is no way in hell that I would get on my channel and say, possibly she didn't because things are not adding up. I think maybe she's still alive. Because it's just like, okay, so when Tracy, I can't even think straight right now. You guys know Love After Lockup, Tracy, when she passed away, there were rumors going around that she overdosed, right? I would not say that on my channel. I was like, I'm not going to say that that woman overdosed. Wagaman. Out of respect for the family. When it comes, like, whatever came about later on, like, then I'll talk about that, and I'll try to in the most respectful way possible, because these people, they just lost someone. Despite if you believe it or not, just put that mere question in your head. What if this is real? Do I want to be the jack horse online questioning it, looking stupid? Like, do you want to be the jack butt on Twitter, saying like, oh, maybe it's a hoax? Like, no, it's not a hoax. This girl is missing. Her family is heartbroken. Their worst nightmare has come to life. Like, they are wondering if they're ever going to see their child again. And some crazy YouTuber is out there spinning wild stories. Like, you should not have even repeated that. You should not even repeat it. Even if it was like, whatever, even if it was, people were saying it, you should have never repeated it, because it's just disrespectful to the family in the most like disgusting way, There actually is a petition to get Without a Crystal Ball off YouTube. I've seen it. It's actually been one for a minute now, I do believe. I think I seen it a while back. But I don't think those petitions get anywhere, unfortunately. Right? Like, surely, like, yeah. So, and then I actually saw this on Twitter. So apparently, Katie posted this. Anyone else love playing The Floor is Lava with their kids? I swear this game never gets boring. It's also fun, like, to figure out different ways to move the furniture to play this game. And she posted this picture, right? Me and Kennedy play The Floor is Lava. Sean and Kennedy. Oh, wait, you guys can't see that. Sorry. Yay, Michelle. I'm glad you got it. So Katie posted, anyone else love playing The Floor is Lava with their kids? I swear this game never gets boring. It's also fun to figure out different ways to move the furniture, is what she said, right? So she posted this picture, which if I see someone post this picture and they say that, I'm assuming that's a picture of their kid playing The Floor is Lava. And especially if you're a YouTuber, that you have edited the photo to make it look like the floor is actually lava, right? That's what I would have assumed. And I think that's what, I think that's what people thought. Like, oh, look, there's Katie's son playing The Floor is Lava, and she edited the picture to make it look like it's lava, so cool. And then someone actually found the picture. That is not her son. Kennedy plays the game all the time with me and Sean. So this is the actual picture, and that's the boy. So I don't know if she intended for people to think that that was her son playing it and that she just edited the photo to look like lava. But I think that's what all her followers thought, that it was her son playing the floor as lava. But then someone actually found the photo. So I was like, what? I was like, did she really post? Because my thing is like, if I'm going to post a photo of another kid playing a game.
I actually think that what she said was this case did not interest her.
Yeah. What'd you say? Love you, Michelle. Thank you so much. I'm glad you got your shirt. I'm glad you love it. Wednesday night we'll probably be live if another podcast comes out. If not, we'll try to go live anyways.
Yeah. So I think what her words was this case did not interest her, but she might recover it if nothing else.
So Sean said he thinks what he remembers that she said was the case did not interest her, but she may cover it if she has time to, or something to that effect. She straight up gossip channel. Yeah. So yeah, she made that post. And I think everybody that saw it thought that was like a picture of her kid playing it until someone found the actual picture. And they was like, whoa, what? Whoa. Are you serious, Kiki Ray?
What is it?
I saw that Katie apparently commented on Gabby's father's post saying to check her channel out, that she's covering it. That's just ridiculous.
No way.
That is just literally like clout chaser. She always wants to talk about, oh, they're trying to get clout off my name. They're trying to get clout off my name. Well, she's literally trying to get clout off this tragedy.
Did she really do that?
I'm sure, because even in that post about the cops coming to her house, she used the hashtag, Gabby Petito. Well, if you look up that hashtag, it brings up like all the posts related to that hashtag.
Yeah,
so people, it would bring up that.
Bring it up if somebody was searching.
Right, yeah.
Dude, if she did that, man, I swear oh, man. Because I'm just
thank you, being baby Brooklyn.
I've been like connected to this and like following it like before I heard it on anything else. Sean was like telling me about it. I didn't know anything about it. And when she started covering it, I knew there was going to be some shit. I even said something in that net. I'm like, man, she done started covering this case about Gabby. I was like, man, she ain't doing this for nothing but money. You know, I said, watching, it's going to be some crazy shit happen. And look, who would have thought, man, I'm so tired of this crap, dude. Why she uses people like that, man.
It's just terrible.
Is she really, man?
Good night, Lauren. I'm about to get off as well. I'm super sleepy. Super sleepy. I am so tired. We won our game. Caden did so well. So proud of him. He gets to play the JV games. He's a freshman. Do I know what's going on with Mama June? I haven't heard of anything lately, but I will check it out. And if anything's going on with Mama June, I will record a video about that tomorrow. I do have to take Paris. She has a doctor's appointment tomorrow, so I'm going to have to like record early in the morning, go to her doctor's appointment, and then the next day, Caden gets his braces off. So tomorrow, Paris doctor's appointment. The next day, Caden gets his braces off. On the, let me see my calendar. You guys, it's crazy. On Friday, we have the fair. So we're going to go to the fair that Friday. So Thursday, doctor, Wednesday, doctor, Thursday, doctor, Friday, fair, Friday night game. We have a football game Friday night. Saturday morning, we have another football game for Eli that's like an hour away. Monday, Dakota has a doctor's appointment with a specialist 3 hours away from here. So me and Dakota, we will be on the road Monday. I will probably not do a video at all Monday because I'll be doing that. Paris, she goes to see the orthopedic doctor on the 29th about her leg. Then on October 4th, Dakota goes to his doctor like an hour away for like a checkup on what's going to happen down south. On the 27th, it's going to be like a checkup for that. And then on the 5th, I have my deposition for my lawsuit against the police department. Then on the 6th, I have a doctor's appointment and I'm getting powder brows. So it's a lot. Yeah. So, oh, and then the 27th, the day that I have to take Coco down south, that evening, we also have a JV game. So, and we have practice Monday, Tuesday, Thursday of both of those weeks. Every day, every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday we have football practice with Eli. And then now we're going to start having games on Saturdays. So yeah, I don't really like my eyebrows, you guys. Like I can never get them even. So I'm going to go get powder brows and I may like document the experience, you know. So I'm going to get off of here. Yeah, Caden's going to be, he's going to be looking good. He's getting his braces off, which my little man already looks so good. I'm so proud of my kids. You guys, I can't even tell you. They have homecoming coming up as well. So I got to take Paris home. I have to take Paris and Caden to get their stuff for homecoming. Yeah, because they both go to homecoming. Caden's a freshman. He got a little girlfriend. He has her homecoming. So, yay, Cassandra. That's awesome. That's awesome. Congratulations. She commented on his Twitter and said, we're all working hard to get out whatever help we can to help you find Gabby. Yeah, she's not working to do anything except make money off of it. That's what she's doing.
Do you know what happened to my long charger that you came and got?
I don't know, but I'll find it. Is that it right there, babe?
No, but this one will probably work.
Yes, powder brows. What are the brows called again? Powder brows. Yeah. I will document it more than likely just so I can like put it up on my channel in case you guys are interested. If not, don't watch it. If you are, watch it. But it's different than microblading. Flossie has powder brows and they look so good. I showed you guys last time Flossie's powder brows and Kennedy is awake. Yes, Matt's sister is pregnant with baby number 2, which we think it's a boy. Right, Matt? So I really got to get off. It is after midnight. I am tired. I probably will not even remove my makeup. I'm just going to get up extra early in the morning to take a shower. What happened to my nails? They came off after a while. Yes, I'm looking so forward to my deposition. I'm so ready to get this done and over with and behind me. I don't know what the next steps are after a deposition, but I know that's one step closer to getting this situation behind me. So, yeah, ready for that. So, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Later, alligator. I do have 2 videos that I need to edit. So, I'll probably record at least one video early in the morning and then work on editing those 3 tomorrow evening as I'm like, you know, taking Paris to the doctor and all of that. So yeah, be on the lookout for at least 2 videos. I do have 2 videos coming out. So make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and go watch my other videos if you want to. Go to sleep with them playing or not. Turn the volume off, let them play. Why not? Unless you just really don't want to use your data, you know, that's understandable. But anyways, thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow, maybe. Bye.